be a good show. I'm super hyped for it. Along with me, I got two people you'll know and recognize, Aggro and AJ. Welcome to the show, guys.
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
Super excited. I know you're happy to be here. We got a lot of cool
I can
stuff
barely
going
hear
on.
this.
So, I mean, I guess we'll just dive right into it. A lot coming out. We have the Reaping
This
event
is
coming in
max
October. Y'all knew that was
everything on
coming.
my computer.
We also have the new god Maui, which we're going to get to later, you know about, and plenty of other things to talk about. But as always, we have some balance. And let's start in Conquest. Looks like there's some changes kind of across the map. A lot of camps.
It's gonna get really loud at some point. I'm telling you, so
starting
prepare
with,
yourselves.
Naga getting
If
a
they
little
fix it,
stronger,
it's gonna
looks
fucking blow your eardrums out.
Objectives we're changing here today.
Objectives.
Yeah, so the Naga is a new early game contested objective we added in the duo lane. That's gonna make some.
Oh,
big
they're
impact
making
over
it
here.
tanky.
It's a big objective. It's a
Oh,
powerful
shit.
reward.
Early game, it takes forever to kill.
We're toning that down a little bit here between the Naga and the Interceptor changes. That sorry to get ahead of you, but
Yeah, you're good.
they're very closely related. We're gonna make the Naga here a little harder to kill. This is gonna make it take a little bit more time if you're going to go over there. Maybe give the other team a better chance.
Naga's the one that has the scepter.
Or to at least poke
Once
you
you
out
kill
while
it, you
you're
can
on
pick up the scepter.
And then if you do get the scepter, that damage is coming down a little bit too. So
Yeah.
Wanted to increase a lot more early aggression across the map. We're going to talk about that some more here in just another moment. But we wanted to be careful about that duo lane snowball, which is really one of the heaviest places you can snowball a whole match. So just toning that back a little bit.
And that makes sense. That's a super powerful objective to grab. So making it a little more of a risk reward, like really having to dedicate yourself to it. Cool play. So next up, looks like we're getting some Fury changes too, both to Golden and Primal.
Yeah, exactly. So like AJ was just talking about, we're definitely aware of how important early pressure could be in duo lane and playing around Interceptor in particular.
Hey, why are they
And that's
nerving
just more
objectives?
individual-based pressure. But we do want to encourage teams to group up and fight a little bit more and be a little bit more active as a unit, more so than just one person having the best pressure pick and then going over and snagging Scepter for themselves. So Gold Fury is going down a little bit in its base health and base gold, as well as its base protections.
And power.
And
just
power.
all of it.
I don't understand this. Like, I understand what they're doing, but I don't get why they're doing
with
this.
A slightly worse reward, but increasing that.
So
scaling
gold is a little bit
to try
less
and get
gold.
it to
It's
that
easier
same
to
point
kill.
in mid to late game.
But why?
But we've just gotten the feedback that early gold Furies, early Furies in general, just end up being a little bit too risky for the reward you're going to get. So we keep the reward close to the same, but
gold's a
decrease the
joke.
risk by a little bit to try and get teams a little bit more active around that side of the map.
Yeah, make it something that in the early game you have to be a little more cognizant of, because all of a sudden it's no longer that hard or as hard to get in there and contest it or fight it even. So,
Exactly.
Cool. So, and I guess Primal and Oni Fury are along that same, just for all
It's
of
gonna
them.
be easier to solo
exactly.
for
All three
double
Furies.
Now
lifesteal.
Pyromancer also
crit
getting
gods.
some changes.
Yeah, this one's a slightly different story, but it's very much along the same lines.
Okay.
We want to encourage you to kill it earlier, so we're making it a little bit easier to kill earlier. But it's also going to get a little bit more of a loss
so
in its
easy to
reward. So
kill.
the
What
team
the
golden,
fuck is
it's also
this?
losing some team experience.
I can solo
and
Pyro.
the main reasoning behind this is we want the Fury and the Pyromancer to not be so symmetrical. So it's very often when you're maybe a little behind,
Turn them down a
one
little
team's
bit.
going for the Fury, you'll say, okay, we'll go take the Pyromancer
Bro,
instead.
yeah, we'll just trade.
That's great.
It's
We like
already
that
a
you have
joke,
options,
and then they
but
made it easier
was
and
too
give way
close in the
less.
total reward. Really, the team that's doing the Fury should get a little bit more of a noticeable reward.
That's
than the team
nuts,
with the Pyromancer.
dude.
The Pyromancer.
So there's no
we are
counter to
bringing those
gold.
Pyromancer rewards down
If
a
you
little
do,
bit
if they get
more,
gold and you do this,
especially
it's
in that, it's
gold is just far superior.
Got it.
But it
You
will
have
be
to get
even
both
slightly easier to
scorpions
kill
as
too,
well.
So maybe you can sneak that in early, especially if you're one of those basic attack assassins who are doing so well right now.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, makes sense. Well, super cool. That kind of covers it for the Conquest changes.
Yeah, Scorpions
so
give
a lot of good
48
stuff
gold or
coming,
46
but
gold.
We just hit the tip of the iceberg with balance. I think we're into items now. Starting off with kind of an interesting change here to the purification beads, right?
What? Look, I'm a little biased. Maui's my favorite thing in this patch. But this might be my second favorite thing in this patch. This is really big. So purification beads and all relics, the way it interacts with when you can fire it.
Yeah.
There are some hidden rules that have made it feel a little less responsive than we would like. And so we've been dedicating a lot of time and effort
that's sick.
in investigating how
Wait,
beads
this
and other
is
relics
sick.
kind of interact with that.
Got it.
We think this is going to make a big difference in how it feels to use
That
purification
is
beads. At least
sick.
we hope it will. So
There are
now,
so many times
if
where I
you
try to
got
fit in an extra
interrupted out
ability
of
and I
an
can't,
animation,
and it fucks me over.
You wouldn't be able to beads while that animation would have been playing, and that made it feel like your beads weren't going off.
That's
We've
sick.
made it so that you can now beads no matter what you're doing. So
anytime you are alive is
Right.
the text
Well,
we
yeah,
went with on
exactly.
the patch notes.
It's there.
So you can't beads while dead,
So
but
not
any
dead.
other time is good.
Yeah.
Anytime you've got color on your
That's sick.
screen, you know, you're not on the grayscale, you're allowed to use purification beads, and it has made a really, really big difference.
This is
in
huge.
the high-level players.
This is big for a
really
Wheelix.
noticing it.
Because
Yeah.
a Wheelix,
I trust Lermian saying
you
that
get
she's
pulled and
noticing
you
it.
beads and you fall to the ground.
We think that this
So
will
you'll
make
be
it feel
able
a
to
little bit
beads
more
and you
responsive,
should be able
that
to keep
your beads are
going.
off more consistently.
If
and
you
you're
do
not
it
getting
right,
those
like
moments where you're
if you
like,
know
"Oh,
you're
I
gonna
was
get
smashing
ulted,
it,
you
we
can
know what was
beads
going on."
so much shit now and
Hopefully
just keep
this will
going.
remedy some of that.
Got it.
We're really interested to hear the feedback of this going forward, you know, especially since we're applying these special rules to just beads. We'd love to hear more about how do the rest of the relics
On
feel
any
compared
knock
to
up and
beads.
pluck,
Is there
it's
some
not
other
going to
issues we
stop.
can
It's
look
not going to
into?
change.
It's always
This is
something
just
that there's a
like
lot of
when you're
details,
using
a lot of digging
abilities
work
or you're in
going
the
into,
middle
so
of ability
I think this one
animations,
is
you can
gonna
use
be a
beads
good start.
and
We're
they
gonna
work
learn a lot.
properly.
And we're going to see some really hype plays because now you can like pre-beads while dashing and stuff like that to prevent yourself from getting interrupted from it, which is really
So now when I do
crazy.
aggressive shit,
So
I'll
we're gonna-
beads
we're-
and
the
then be
skill ceiling is
aggressive. Well,
going
now I'll
up
be
a
able to
little bit
start
with
being
this change.
aggressive and beads
I'm not
while
gonna
using the
complain.
ability.
I
So you
just ate
gain
my
like
input,
a half
so
a second
now I have to
Well,
on
you
those
can,
beads.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
massive quality of life.
but-
So let us know
Massive.
if that still happens to you even after this change. Please let us know.
Absolutely.
And submit video proof.
This is really big. There are so many times where you don't get an extra ability in because you want to be.
Super cool. Excited for that. Next up, looks like we kind of have a couple mage items getting some touch-up work here, starting with a nerf with Warlock stuff.
Yeah, so Warlock Staff has finally become a real mainstay item in mage builds. You know, it got
That's
a little
fine.
bit of
That's not even
rework
that big of a
too long
nerf.
ago and still took a while to get up there. Now we feel like it's just a little bit too
Not
efficient
in the
what it
animation,
does,
actually.
and this is a stacking item that's supposed to have
Like-
this big
like
payoff as you start
afterwards,
to continue to accumulate
before.
stats. We want to shift that power more into making sure you're getting your
Warlock's
stats
is
and
still
not just
fine.
getting
This
the
doesn't
great
change
stats
shit.
right off the rip, and
Okay.
you'll get the stacks whenever you need it. So this is a little bit more in line with something like Transcendence that doesn't get its CDR until you fully evolve it. Now Warlock Staff not getting its percent pen until it's fully
No,
evolved.
actually, if you get
Okay,
pulled
cool.
by the wheelers,
I
you
mean,
can
it
beads.
makes sense too, you know, with an evolving
But you
item,
can't
getting
beads
the power
while
spike
in the
after
dash.
evolution, it's a natural
To
progression.
cancel and
Yep.
counteract.
Next up, Book of
Wheelie
Thoth. A
ult.
little bit of a buff going there. It looks like some magic pen.
This is a spicier buff than
Very
the
spicy.
Warlock Staff nerf was. That's for sure. So Book of
Okay,
Thoth is now
well-
going to provide 10 magical penetration.
Warlock Staff is
flat
dead. Book
when
of Thoth is
evolved.
going to
So
be
this is
core first item.
effectively a new
GG.
flat pen option for
Congrats.
mages, which we
And
think
Thoth
is
just
really
got
exciting.
buffed,
We're
and
always
Flat Pen
interested
got
in
buffed. Book
providing
of
our players
Thoth,
with a good
Spear of
different group
Deso,
of options
Spear of the
within this
Magus,
specific
Divine
type of niche
Ruin,
stat that you feel like
Soul
you need.
Reaver,
Yeah.
So we don't want you
Starter.
boxed into just the same ones. You will have to stack
full
to get
build.
them before you get it.
Right.
But this item was already felt
gonna have
potentially pretty
455
good in a
flat
couple
pen
places.
now.
Maybe it was getting
in
edged
mage
out by
builds.
warlocks. Maybe it works better on certain gods than others. But
No, you're not gonna double
It's got a
stack.
lot of potential now.
Oh, for sure.
Especially with this change.
Yeah.
And mages in general could use the help a little bit. So
Fair enough.
we do have one more mage buff to talk about. But the Book of Thoth is definitely the one that people are going to be at home.
Very spicy.
Everyone's
Definitely
building
doing
this
the
item
theory
first now.
crafting around because I think we're going to see a lot more of this with this change.
Always good for item diversity for sure. So as you mentioned, one more Charon's coin also getting a buff. Looks like magic power.
Yeah, just a little bit more magic power on Charon's. You know, we're seeing Obsidian Shard be
they
far
don't
and
want
away the
Shard
more
to be
popular
better.
20% pen
Yeah.
option. Charon's has a lot of great utility and a lot of great stats that it gives you, but it was lacking a little bit in the power department. Not bringing it back up to that 100 mark that it once dominated
Exactly.
the meta at.
Yeah,
Lotto
And
double
there's
stack,
a lot,
sure,
you know,
yeah.
The 9.5 update changed a lot since the last time this was at 90 power. Something to keep in mind.
It looks like a small change, but this item has been really
when are they gonna buff Gem of
fine-tuned over
Ice?
the years, and little bits have gone and made really big differences in the whole mage build meta before, especially on this item. So
Yep.
going careful here,
Got it.
should be helping mages out one way or another.
Yep.
Even if it's just a little bit.
Sounds good. It's crazy too how you could you release an item and any tuning you do, it's crazy back and forth. But after a couple years, you're like, all right, listen, we
It
changed
only
the
takes a
power
few
by
years to be balanced.
yeah, we changed the power by
just
2 in
years,
this.
you know.
and
Well,
it
Viso
sounds
sucks
crazy,
unless they
but that's
buff it.
gonna
What do you
shift
mean
the meta
core item?
entirely.
Like when we took pen to 13 or 12 or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
bananas. So next up, Silver Branch getting a nerf on it.
Yeah, Silver Branch is just proven to be a little bit too splashable in builds
God.
that don't require you to hit the
Actually
passive
more
threshold
significant of a nerf than I
It's
thought they would
supposed to be
go
an
with.
item that really incentivizes you to build a lot of attack speed and then not get punished for overcapping, especially on attack speed stim gods. When Anhur is building Silver Branch,
Right.
and-
With 0 stacks. They're
right,
like, yep, I
with,
still
like,
want it.
2.1 attack speed, I mean, Silver Branch is probably a little bit too good. You know, obviously going to keep an eye on the overall Hunter's builds in the late game
course,
and what percent pen options they have
Is
as,
that
we, as
punching
they
a wall
continue.
right now?
But we felt pretty comfortable that in the short term, Silver Branch seemed a little bit too good.
Yeah, Silver Branch gonna
Alright, well,
get
cool. Sounds
pushed out
good.
of
Next up,
ADC
this kind of
build.
seems thematic. Devourer's Gauntlet getting a little bit of a buff. Some pin, it looks like.
Another very spicy change here. So we have not seen this item
they
much in
doing?
quite a while.
Well, we're back to double
life
lifesteal.
Got a cool little new toy.
Congrats,
and
boys.
so the
Devo core on
and
Hunters
I guess
again.
potentially Assassins shall as well. With
Wait, honestly, I
Devourer's
might build that
Gauntlet now
on.
providing 10 physical pen, flat pen when evolved.
Yeah.
Pretty
probably
exciting
not building
change.
that on
Pretty
junglers.
big development to this item that generally just gave power and lifesteal.
10 pen early. Hunters are gonna fuck your shit early game.
A whole variety of gods. Maybe we see it a lot more.
You're gonna have to go this too. Nothing's gonna compete with Devo
because Hunters tend to build a lot between.
because they're matching with Aussie, but Aussie is only better because it has pen.
With the Transcendence nerf we had in the bonus balance as well.
They're going back to Devo
That's
starter.
always something to keep in mind. A lot of these changes were written with those recent bonuses back in mind. So this could shift that lane towards Devourers and less away from Transcendence. We were seeing overwhelmingly more
30 flat pen at 4 minute mark.
Not even close. And I think it's really important to remember for both Book of Thoth and Devourer's Gauntlets that we are in a world where everyone has more HP, more physical protection. We're not getting back to what we were at pre.
We got a long way to go before we go.
Long way to go, but introducing a little bit more exciting itemization and a little bit more lethality for these damage classes early on.
Milan's not gonna be able to
stack them up all the way before you get that.
It's
only an auto attack.
So they're really exciting and really spooky in a good way, I think. But I think that
I'm stoked for these two changes.
Me too, man. I can't wait. It's been fun playtesting.
It'll be good to watch out for. So next up, Heartseeker getting a little bit of a buff. I know it is at least not running your pockets as much, but what else is going on?
We're looking still at ability assassins now.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple. It was basic attackers that were really out in front for most of this year for a while. As the pro meta has developed, it hasn't really reflected the exact same stats as the rest of the game. But we're still seeing a lot of these ability-based assassins struggle, especially in normal Conquest and ranked Conquest. So we're looking at Heartseeker and seeing this item that people really haven't been purchasing very much in a long time.
This isn't quite equal to grabbing Pen to Thoth and Devos, but
prohibiting people from getting it.
Sure.
It was really up there. So brought that down a little bit. And then the smaller buff here is it's going to allow you to stack to the maximum damage threshold without having to build as much power, which after quite a lot of power build calculations that Aggro did in his designs of Rangda's and Lono's masks, this made a lot more sense to bring this threshold down a little bit because 400 is a pretty high number to reach.
Yeah,
yes,
for
indeed.
Sure. Well, cool. And props to you for doing those calculations. I know 2 hands in a
did
calculator.
the math.
Yeah, the math.
No, I can't. So glad we have somebody like you who can do it, because I would be back there like, man, I don't know, 2 + 2 could equal 4.
I'm gonna be honest. I just messaged Pon and have him do it for me. Because
he is our resident math expert.
Yeah, he's
at least we have a
game designers aren't afraid of math, though.
No,
they might have to practice
you
it
really
quite a bit,
can't
but
be, honestly.
Yes, they might have to practice.
All right, well, cool. Next up, looks like we're getting into the more Guardian area here, and Heartward Amulet and 2 of its glyphs getting some buffs, it looks like, to protections, yeah?
Yeah, to the aura in particular. So, of course, this also affects the user of Heartward Amulet. And
are they doing that to offset Book of Thoth having flat pen?
Heartward just feels a little bit underwhelming, and that's, when you see some magical heavy compositions, it has glyph options, which makes it inherently a little bit more valuable.
Yeah.
And it's still not being picked up. It means it's probably not good enough at its job, and its job is to make your team
That's so strange to offset a buffing other items.
Dealers, so putting a little bit of strength there. Obviously, you have to be a little careful when it comes to auras because
they're doing this to Heartward because nobody goes fucking Heartward Amulet.
Really 10 extra.
And you know why people don't go Heartward Amulet? Because magic damage is avoidable.
Just a little bit of.
You can avoid the mage abilities if you're positioning and diving and moving around properly.
Up into the defensive area, Height of the Nemean Lion also getting a bit of buff.
Like autos, you're not really gonna
this
avoid
one's
them.
gonna stack faster to get those block stacks.
Great block stacks.
Still gone are the days of the permanent reflect damage and good riddance on that one. But now we're focused on this stack-based mechanic. You have to build into it. There's a lot of restrictions on it, so we wanted to make sure it was effective when it did come up.
Yeah.
So 10 seconds down to 8 seconds. It's reasonable. Reasonable. We got to be careful on this one. We've done a lot of testing when this item was very strong, and just warriors could just run at you all day. So taking out baby steps on this one, and overall, feel like it's going to be a good thing. It might work its way into those solo builds.
Yep.
We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, just slowly steering it back just to see what happens. So, cool. Next up, Bancroft's Claw, getting a little nerf, actually.
Yeah, speaking of math, by the way, this description.
Nerfs on the main patch, by the way. Exciting.
Yeah, right.
You know, we've been
because
hearing
you didn't
feedback
nerf
about
shit
saving them all
before.
for
Where's the
bonus.
Glad
If
Shield
we need
nerf?
to nerf now, we will nerf now.
Yeah.
It's all about identifying, getting that data and feedback in at the right time.
Yep.
And this one, Really popping up really big right now, huh?
All of a sudden, people kind of realizing
nowhere.
that this one's pretty good.
Here,
I will
Hades is
say
meta now?
You added a shield to a
somehow we finally
lifesteal
got
item.
there.
Spread the
What
word.
the fuck do you think is gonna happen?
This one, I mean, Bancroft's Claw, very, very potent at what it does. You have to be very close range, but the gods who use it well use it a little bit too well. And we feel like the damage component of it isn't as egregious as
reasonable.
the shield. And the shield, because it isn't affected by anti-heal, all that kind of stuff, just gives these gods a little bit too much survivability to go along with that damage. So just making it so that you're getting less of a shield. Again, this can stack among how many gods you hit, multiple stacks of the item, all that kind of good stuff. This should be pretty noticeable when you're getting one of those massive health shields. Again, there's still a max HP component. We're definitely going to be keeping a close eye on Bancroft's Claw, but we feel like this is a pretty safe first step in not immediately removing these claw gods from the meta. But
Let Hades have some time.
A little bit,
Yeah,
at
come on.
least. So, well, cool. Yeah, I mean, I love that we're starting the October update off with so much math because I'm already scared and we haven't even got to the scary stuff yet. So, next up, these changes are a little similar. We're over to earrings now, and I know the earrings have had a lot of back and
What are they gonna
crazy
do?
items. They're rule-breaking items.
Yep.
So both Manticore Spike and Fabulous Hoops kind of having some similar changes done. Yeah.
Yep, increasing costs on both of them.
Okay.
That's mostly to address the overall stat efficiency.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
didn't
that's a
want
good
to
start.
nerf the stats too much. We'd rather increase the costs. Make sure these items still have a valuable enough total.
I don't know if it's enough of an increase,
they
but
were
it's a
getting you a
start.
little too much for that price. So you're going to see Manticore Spike going up a little bit more than Fabulist. Manticore Spike being a little bit more widely purchased, a little more aggressive, a little bit more applicable on more gods.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
mean,
whereas
everyone's
Fabulist
still
is a
building the
smaller
item.
Update. And then also, nice note that we are just doing some adjustments on the visual effects, the deployable effects, the self-buff effects.
I'm pretty sure
just to
everyone
make
is
these a little
still
bit
going
more
those.
easy to see.
If you're playing a
easy
healer,
to
you're
pick
going
up on the ground.
Fabulous. It's still nuts.
And better understanding of who's currently recently picked one up, and you should watch out for that.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool then. Yeah, a little
Thank you,
more
Smite.
battleground awareness. Can be hard to notice a little hectic in a big old team fight or something. So
Definitely.
Always
Absolutely.
love that clarity. So cool. That actually does it for item balance. But
What?
again, we still got balance to go. We're into the gods world
Why
now.
won't they kill Glass Shield?
It looks like.
Yeah, Camazot's just one of those
Why?
gods that always pops up around.
just
the pro,
delete the
at
fucking
World's Time
item.
and that kind of stuff, and we're definitely cognizant of that.
Oh
but
my
wanting to make
gosh,
sure that
this
it's a
is
more damage-oriented
ridiculous.
buff that if
This
you're
is the
going
longest
solo,
an item
it's
has
not
been
going to help
overpowered
quite as much. So
for
just
consistent
helping
months
out
I've
with
ever
Screech,
fucking
one
seen
of
in 10
the,
years.
more guaranteed abilities to land for Camazot's.
Definitely.
Making it a little bit simpler to get your damage off there.
Cool.
Trying to keep him in the jungle, trying to keep him full power.
Yep.
Hey, I like Camazot, so I like the easy ability to bail under pressure. So that ult has always been a favorite of mine.
Yep.
So next up, Thor, kind of also getting a handful of buffs. 3 abilities seeing some change.
Okay, this
Now,
is
this is really
nuts.
one big buff.
Yes.
The rest are
Okay,
kind of
one
small.
big
So
buff,
Milner's
got it.
getting some mana, not a big deal.
Cool.
Now, the real one is that Tectonic Rift is now going to deal damage.
Whoa.
Which is a little
It's
bit
happened.
spicy, and by that I mean very spicy. It's been something
I'm
that's
so
been
pumped.
theorized for years.
Thor is
The prophecy
the
has
best
finally come
god in the
true. It's
game
a
right now.
low
Best
base and
assassin in the
scaling
game by
number,
far.
But that's very important
Thor is
because
the best
it can
assassin in the
trigger
game.
on hit attacks.
100%.
On hit effects.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is very
Yeah, Thor is really
important
good
for
right now.
assassin
This is
build.
gonna
And
push him over the
additionally, yes,
top.
Thor's
So they
ultimate
did the same thing as
which
Cesaro.
applies
and
a
they did it
bonus
to someone
damage
else.
with chain lightning
Oh, Helix?
effect will now apply to the damage on that ability, which you previously could not use that to trigger that. So that is something that happens by default, kind of as adding damage to that based on the rules of his ultimate. So and obviously we were okay with that. Yeah.
Thor's about to be
Pretty big impacts we
fucking
expect from
crap.
this one.
Yeah,
Huge.
sounds
Yeah,
The thing
for
with
sure.
Thor
And of
is,
course, also it
is
always
bad
goes
players,
where
like
we
like
get
really
months and
actually
months of
bad
feedback
players will
from
never
community
play
pros
Thor
and
to an
Olympians,
effective
like, Thor needs
capacity.
buff,
Thor's
Thor
just
needs buff.
terrible.
Make
And
him
then
stronger.
SPL starts up, and it's like, I'm actually going to pick Thor a good
This
amount.
is
It's
good
like,
though
come
for
on, man.
SPL.
But
Whenever Thor
I
is
do think that this-
competitive,
it's
the
really
game is
exciting.
fun to
It's felt
watch.
unbelievably good to play.
every world where
Just
Thor is a
making
top
sure-
pick,
it's so
the
much-
best
it's such
fucking
a good
competitive matches
feeling
ever.
To throw out your wall over a wall and know if you hit someone to throw your hammer, like
Yeah.
seeing the damage numbers
feedback,
pop up
yeah.
has felt really good.
Okay.
It takes away some synergy with like Titan's
This is a
Bane
good
on
time to
them, which is,
buff
like, a
Thor if they're
cool
gonna make him
little
OP
trade-off,
right
I think,
before
when
Worlds.
Titan's Bane was an insane
I hope he's not
tool.
banned all the time by
Now you're getting the
SPL
Titan's
players.
proc on your wall, and you're like, that didn't do a whole lot, but that feels like a pretty fair trade-off.
Yeah.
I expect to see a good amount of Thor after this change, and it's a god that
It was
we haven't
110
seen
damage
as
at
much
max with
until the
40%
last,
scaling,
few
right?
weeks, 'cause that's
Right,
the
true.
So, like, 200 to
comedy of it all.
300
It's kind of a
damage
cosmic
endgame?
gumbo in a way. But I'm really excited
Plus
about
it'll
this. I
proc
think that
Heartseeker.
people are going to really feel the difference for Thor, but not feel like it is an overwhelming amount of damage. It's really
Yeah.
there just to give you a little bit of information, give you an item proc on Crusher, Heartseeker, something, Bluestone, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And just make it feel a little bit better.
You know what really
Athena got a small
sucks?
amount of
We
damage.
might
She
just
gets
see
best jungler in
solo
the game.
Thor come back in
So
the
maybe
fucking
Thor
meta too.
Yeah, who
will be
knows?
the best jungler in the game.
It's going to be a reckoning.
He still has very noticeable weaknesses in his kit,
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
So we shall
You're
see.
gonna have
We
Glad
shall see.
Shield,
We shall see.
Bluestone,
Always
Thor
cool
with
that you can
Heartseeker.
change one thing, and you're like, man, I can't wait to see how that alters the combos, the gameplay style. It's, that kind
Tholo.
of stuff is always fun to watch for sure.
Very much.
So until I'm getting crushed by it. But next up, Ganesha getting a buff as well, 2 abilities.
Yeah, Ganesh, just one of those
Is
gods
he?
that
Coming back to play the game
always
now?
is on the fringe of could be really good, has really good matchups,
Yeah.
but is one of those quintessential supports. And so getting a little bit less of a self-slow while
Ganesh is a
firing
good
home,
support,
that's the
dude.
big silence, of
Yeah.
course.
Ganesh, I think Ganesh
and
is,
then on the
is
dash,
a really
letting that
fucking
scale
good support.
down
I like having Ganesh on my
and
team.
cool down. Ganesh is one of those gods that doesn't feel super impactful as you start to put points into your abilities at times. You know, you get more protections during Ohm, but
Yeah.
a lot of times not while you're really using it. Getting a lower cooldown on that dash, which was 15 seconds at all ranks.
Yeah.
What
letting
up,
him be a
Barbie?
little bit
Thank
more
you for the gifted
survivable through
subs.
Mid to late game, I think, is going to feel pretty good for this god.
Yeah, super impactful. And I mean, hey, strongest damage ult in
Well,
the
you were the
game,
one who
right?
tweeted me
One of
that
them.
picture, right? That shit was
They
nuts.
Always a
happen
good,
to sit still.
yeah, always a good meme.
That
So,
drawing is
speaking
nuts.
of Athena, kind of mentioned her earlier.
Yeah.
A little bit of buff. Is she going back to the jungle? again?
No, this is a
Okay.
very support-oriented buff, or at least it's
Support buff.
intended to be. You know how that play. One of the joy of MOBAs is the flexibility, though, and how players can do different things. So, you know,
Yes.
go nuts. Anyway, Confound, decreased cooldown from 18 seconds flat to 18 scaling down to 16. That's her key CC.
Yeah.
That's an extremely high cooldown. You know, that was nerfed multiple times
Okay.
over the years. It was during her previous high points.
Okay.
But now she's really needs some help. Seems like
Those
a
are
very
good
reasonable
buffs,
thing to bring
dude.
down other
Athena about to
guardians
get
with
played
big
some
CCs
more,
on.
gamers.
Yeah.
And then also very exciting, Defender of Olympus, which I would say is probably one of the things that you will hear from people that will say, oh, I thought that was already a thing.
Yep.
Athena will now gain the damage mitigation, and we also increased that damage mitigation by 5%. So you're going to be able to channel on an ally, give them 5% more, 35% damage
2
mitigation.
seconds off
Athena's
of
also
taunt
gonna
is
get it. So now,
really big.
even if the person you targeted
'Cause that taunt is on a
dies before you go
long-ass
anywhere,
cooldown.
Yeah.
or any of the other possible mishaps that can happen during Athena, you will have gotten that damage mitigation for yourself as well. It really helps her potentially as an escape tool, I
Yep.
suppose.
Absolutely.
True,
You
yeah.
get into a little bit of trouble, use your ultimate to escape.
Not usually how you want to use it, but you certainly can.
You
do
know, it's
that,
funny
and
though.
will do, and this will
Is the
make that a
counters
little
to
bit
Thor
better as well,
jungle
so more
are
flexibility.
usually
Yeah, somebody needs to
Athena
prime
and
gank,
Mercury,
you're
like
laying
over
to die,
10
so
years.
listen, my
Like
only
those are
way
the
out
two.
is
See ya.
ult
Yep.
solo
Because
lane,
it's
so
global
good
ult
luck
versus
later.
global ult or
So,
semi-global
cool.
versus
Next up,
semi-global.
Hercules getting a little. I mean, I was gonna say buff. I was trying to work in a buff joke.
So they
if he's
buffed
buff
Athena
already,
when they
but
buffed
pretend
Thor.
I made a great one and laugh in the comments. So what's happening with Hercules?
Yeah, so getting a little bit more base attack speed just felt a little low
if
for,
he's
for
shut
the
off.
warrior class
Yeah.
in general. And then increasing his passive strength a little bit. And
Okay.
longtime SPL fans and all that kind of stuff will shudder at this idea. But remember, the game is very different post 9.5. So that amount of power doesn't equate to the same thing that it once did. This is what really was his identity at a high level for a long time, was
Yeah.
he was this level 1 juggernaut that was really, really difficult to bring down. You know, we know that the DR changes made a big difference for this god and really affected him pretty negatively.
Yeah.
And so we feel like this is a better direction to go in right now. But, you know, still keeping a close eye on how his CC is affected by all the DR changes.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Said.
Yeah. And yeah, well said. Right. Next up, a god that I kind of have trouble wrapping my head around and achievement hunting. Tyr getting a buff as well. So
You're never going to get that achievement.
No.
Wow, that was toxic. I believe in you,
That
Harrison.
and
Come
Cthulhu.
on, man.
Thank you.
So
I'll give you dev codes and you can
Yeah.
just you can just kill 'em.
Tyr getting some bonus stats, really. But the interesting thing to me with this is that these stance changer ultimates.
Yeah.
A lot of times you don't really want to put points in them. And there's not necessarily a whole lot going on with them. They really just kind of do what the god's
Why?
meant to do.
Yeah.
But we're going to make Tyr do that better now. So he's going to be able to get some of that physical power and some of that physical
So you're tankier
protection.
in damage
all
stance
protection, sorry.
and
That
do
looks like
more
we got a,
damage and
typo.
defense stance.
That'll happen. But
For
he's going
no
to get now
reason.
half of the physical power in the defense stance and half of the protections in
So max rank,
offensive stance.
you just
So
have
he's
an extra
always getting
25 power
both
in
things.
defense
They're
stance
just
and
in
extra
smaller
25
amounts. So
defense.
okay.
effectively,
in
he's
damage
just
stance.
getting a free 0 to 25 of these stats.
I'm
all
telling
the
you,
time, which
it's
is,
like they
you know,
just
that
don't
has
give
a
a
lot of
fuck
impact.
that they make these
those-
tanks
a lot
have
of times
power and
people
do more
see
damage
these
for
types of
no
changes, don't
reason.
get as excited about them, but they tend to have very large.
Like if that was
statistical
gonna make
impact, and it's gonna
jungle
affect the
tier
god
good, I'd be
overall.
about it.
Yes.
But
The
it
whole
just
time.
makes tank
Will
tier
this be
better.
enough incentive to rank the ability over one of his other abilities? That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But
Probably not until later.
If you can find a way to play the early game on tier, this is definitely going to help his late game.
Well, that's the thing is that tier doesn't need a whole lot of help early. Is that his lane dominance is near the top. So we like him being able to scale a little bit better into the late game. There's a stance switcher in his Pantheon in Hell who has a very similar thing in her.
Yeah, they added flat pen to 3 items and then made
and vice versa.
Oh god, thank you. Like,
feels appropriate
it
for
just
tier to get a
counteracts
little
the
bit of
items.
benefit in both stances and not just have to.
It makes it as if there's no change.
Oh, cool. Sounds good. So next up, Shiva, also getting a buff, 2 abilities, Emblazoned Sweep and Damaru's Tempo.
This is really a buff to his passive, kind of hidden within his abilities.
You get tankier.
Well, Shiva's passive is very intertwined into his abilities to give them these different bonus effects depending on if he's in his Bliss or Destruction
It's just
stance.
micro changes, but
and we wanted
I'm
to really play that
so
up a little bit
fucking
more. We wanted to
over
reward
warriors
players who
and
are paying
everyone
attention
getting
to that and use
tankier
those
being
effects,
buffed.
And there's some cool things that are going on there. So now we're going to make the movement speed from Emblazoned Sweep is going to be a little bit more powerful in Bliss Stance, and the protection reduction.
Where are
debuff
these
is
like
gonna be a little
ideas
bit more
coming
powerful.
from? Do people
Destruction
go on
stance
Reddit or
as
somewhere
well
and
as Damaru's
complain about
Tempo,
warriors?
which has attack speed.
I don't see
buff and
anyone
debuff.
complaining about warriors
That's also gonna
anywhere that
increase the
I'm.
intensity here. So
my
giving
eyes
Shiva
touch.
a little bit more of utility, leaning
Where the
into
fuck
that
is
unique
it?
passive of his.
Yeah.
Seeing if we can bring him back into the solo lane, or he was very role flexible, so we might even see him more in solo or even support with these changes because there's a lot of utility here.
Yeah, for sure. And that's definitely, that passive is one of those where keeping track of it is a skill. That requires practice. So I agree with rewarding players who are able to dive into a team fight and know, all right, I'm in Bliss Stance right now, so it would behoove me to use this.
They're just
ability.
buffing warriors because.
Yeah, if you're in team fighting and still thinking of the word behoove, you're nuts. Like you're a god gamer, that's for sure.
Yeah, I still can't achievement hunt here apparently though. Morgan Le Fay getting a buff. So what's going on with Morgan Le Fay?
Yeah, Morgan Le Fay is one of those gods that feels
Reverting
pretty good,
the nerfs
but
'cause she
just
got
is
over-nerfed,
a little bit
yep.
short after a couple of nerfs after her release. Felt like her cooldowns were just a little bit too long. And so just reverting a couple of those cooldown buffs, not the overall damage nerfs or anything like that. We feel like she's doing a pretty healthy amount of damage right now, but just wanting to be a little bit more impactful in a team fight, especially when you're not getting CDR until pretty late into your build right now in a lot of mage cases. When Morgan was meta, it was a lot of Chronos Pendant, if memory serves. So I think that she could really use a little bit of help in this exact area. I think it'll feel pretty good.
Okay, cool. So next up, continuing the mage trend, Soul getting a buff as well. Stellar Burst and Supernova. Looks kind of like a revert thing here.
Yeah, with a couple of these characters, we had looking at these reverts because, like we said, the 9-5 changes mostly.
This is micro changes, shouldn't change anything.
A very different meta, and it was easy to just go back one step,
Burl?
as opposed to really trying to push something different in their whole kits.
Of course, yeah.
We have balance changes that we do intend to push something different in the whole kit, like the Thor change.
Yeah.
But not all of them. Sometimes just a small touch is a really good thing for these gods. So Soul, focusing on that power scaling, her early game and her lane dominance is already quite strong. Giving her that late game ability based damage that's going to give her a little
Juan
bit
is
of
literally the only way you're getting
flexibility.
played in the
Maybe you can come
SPL.
back in mid-lane,
Yeah, okay.
which would be really
If we're
exciting.
still basing anything on the SPL,
Age
we're
80
fucking
Cs,
stupid.
we've seen a
They're
couple
playing
of them coming up, so that means
junglers
that
in the
it's
mid lane
possible,
on
but
Guardians.
we haven't really seen Soul.
They're playing
And,
Susano
that means that we
assassins
might
on
get
mid
Chronos
lanes
in
in the
future.
mid.
No
They're
spoilers,
playing
nothing to
fucking mid
confirm
laners
officially yet.
on
But
other
we
gods in
are
the jungle. Like,
talking.
bro,
Little
the SPL is
Honestly,
no
stable
longer
radar.
a basis
Yes,
point
perhaps
for
so.
Smite.
God of
If
time,
they're
maybe
using
we'll
it
give
as
this
a
time.
basis point, that is a problem.
For now, it is Soul.
That is an
Hopefully
extremely
join the
large
ranks
problem.
Of Freya and Olorun, which we're already getting some pro level play. So we'll see if Soul can hop in there too.
Yeah, so round out the roster a little more.
No,
Cool.
High-Risk takes into
Next up,
account
Janice
what the
getting a
pros
couple
are
buffs
telling
as well,
them,
2
but
abilities
they
getting
don't
touched
just
up.
make all their
Threshold's one of
changes
those
about
big utility spells
SPL.
that
Everything
young
isn't just SPL.
players
Most of these
understand
changes you're
just how important
seeing
this is
are
to
probably
get.
statistically
And then
based.
through space and
You probably have
time,
Tyr at a
got
really
bunch
low
of
win rate.
changes,
You probably have
quite some
Shiva
time
at a really
ago
low win
to,
rate.
how
They
much
nerfed
damage it
Soul,
can
and
do,
Soul's
it
play
can't
rate
fully
probably
one-shot
dropped
you
to
anymore,
half.
Has audio, all that kind of stuff. And with those fail-safes in
Janus
place,
buffs? This
it
won't help
felt
bad
like
Janus
we
players.
probably could move up the magical power
I like
scale.
the change. That is a buff to the
This
3
does
cooldown.
change based
Or,
on distance
a
and all
change to
that
the
kind
3
of
cooldown.
stuff, and that is math that I don't want to mess with necessarily. But just making sure that the
They're
base
buffing the ult,
65%
but the
for
ult
ultimate.
can't one-shot.
You know it has a lot of utility. It isn't
Yeah.
always used for damage.
Don't
but
forget,
when
the
it is
ult
used for damage, it should
You
probably
can't
go
do
up.
more than 80% of your max health.
I mean, especially with the snipes. If somebody hits me from all the way across the map, I'm mad, but I'm like,
It will
all
help
right,
good
like,
Janus
how did
players.
you-
Yes.
That's
It's a nice
impressive.
change for people who actually know how to play
Deserve that.
Janus.
So
Yeah.
cool. Looks like we're moving into Hunter territory now. On
Yes.
her getting a buff to Impale.
That's right. So Honor just needs a little help all around right now, you know?
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing the thing. So we're talking a lot about Honor and his various utility, his debuffs. He's got Roars like a lion. That's really fun.
Yeah.
But most of all, Impale. That's what everybody knows on her for.
What?
And this ability is known for
How
just
is on her
and it
not
doesn't
doing
really
the
do that
things
anymore. Lane minions got tankier. Gods got tankier. So on her needs a little bit of help to catch
This
up.
is going to
so
help with
just went
early
straight
clear.
for
I
a
think that's what
pretty
this is.
Noticeable base damage increase.
The
which
tier
I would
1
point
from
out here
90
is
to
a little bit
105 is going to
spicier
make
than
level
normal.
1 clearing
really trying to give this
way
a strong
better.
early game presence and a small scaling just to make sure that keeps with him through the rest of the game.
A little twist.
Yeah.
It's
Cool,
really
cool.
strange,
Some
though,
people
that
known for Impale,
they
some
didn't
people
just say,
for
like, hey,
Result, you know.
Honor is not doing great
But what
because of
about the
early
body
clear.
pillow
So we're
pillar?
buffing
Like,
early clear.
The body
That is
pillar?
true.
I don't know.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who.
That's what I know him from anyway.
Yeah.
Every time I get hit by it, I'm like, it's slow.
One
but
of
it's
Onher's best moments, I'd say.
honestly
all time.
a golden moment. So next up, Charybdis getting a couple buffs as well. Spike shot and
Honor is
Capsize.
bottom
Yeah, Charybdis
3
just falling a little bit out of the
ADC?
meta.
Are you
feeling
high?
Like she could use a little bit of help. So
In what
helping her
world?
a little bit with the splinter base damage. That's the shots that come off.
Just
of the
because you're
AO1.
bad at a god doesn't make the
Of
god
course, that
bad.
also includes the AO1 shot through the wave, which is pretty
And a
important.
direct hit on a god.
Exactly. So helping her with her ability to not only clear but box a little bit more effectively. You know, this is kind of her version of a stim in her boxing fight. It is making sure her stim feels a little bit better. And then Capsize, that's the 2, just making the base damage a little bit higher. You know, it takes a while to charge up if you want to get the full effectiveness and the full prop tread and all that kind of stuff. Wanting to reward players a tiny bit for
These are good changes because she's kind of
Awesome.
like just not played that
looks
much right
like
now,
there's one
even though
remaining
she's
here in
good.
the Hunter category, and that's Ishtar, also getting a buff. Imbue arrows, kind of getting some touch-up work, along with Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, Ishtar, new goddess.
New goddess.
As usual, we wanted to really give her time to breathe, give players time to learn her, learn the builds, learn the skill
Bottom
curve.
tier
see
ADCs, are
how
we
she
forgetting
really ends
Scotty
up.
exists?
And we decided we're okay with moving
Neath as an
forward with
actual
buffs.
ADC is
We
also really
always
fucking bad.
are very careful with new gods and
course,
buffs
yeah.
like this, but the main things we want to
Cupid
focus on
after
with Ishtar
nerfs
was
fell off a
looking
lot.
for exciting things to get in the imbue arrows,
Whoa.
especially as you rank it up.
Yeah.
We made a
What
couple
the
changes here across
fuck?
all of the so the duration is going to apply to all of the arrows.
Across all
Correct.
The storm shot, that
Bro,
one's going to
Ishtar
just be doing more
slams.
damage all the time. 'cause it's
These
already
buffs,
a flat
it's gonna be-
percent
this is a
reduction
micro
on
buff.
basic attack.
Right.
If this is
That's
all
the
they do, it's
long-range
fine.
Shot. And then the strike shot, that's the AoE.
Ishtar is nuts.
That one is going to get us a significantly better early game buff to help with her lane clear. So a lot packed into just that one change. And we also have the Rolling Thunder buffs as well. This ability can hit multiple times, but at most it usually hits twice.
That's a pretty big.
We're getting a lot of reports that it just felt a little underwhelming.
Yeah,
a little
it
bit
is
low damage in
underwhelming,
its
but the
overall
God's
poke.
kit is so good it doesn't matter. It
It can
needs to be
still be a
underwhelming.
very strong interrupt tool or CC tool, but we did want to take that damage up a notch. So even though this is still looks like a relatively low number, keep in mind this number can multiply out a few times.
Yeah, you can stack it on, especially if you catch somebody running away and it's just like ow, ow, ow. So
Yep.
Yeah.
super cool.
So very excited about this new goddess. We've overall heard fantastic feedback. People say she feels great to play. Very
I've had a lot of
smooth,
fun.
streamlined kit. Very
Honor buff is totally because of
satisfying,
win
so
rate.
it gets
Yeah,
used
the
a
problem
lot.
is win rate is
Skill shots
Artemis is at the
great
top
to
of
hit,
win
but,
rate.
just
Because
wasn't quite
every
getting that
shit
impact
low-level
in the
player
numbers.
plays
So
Artemis.
A few buffs here, and we'll certainly be keeping an eye on her.
Yep. See where it
'Cause
goes.
everyone's
with
bad.
That, it looks like we are wrapped on the balance for the 910 update. So
And Artemis is
that was a lot of stuff
dog
we just
shit.
went through. Obviously, I don't even remember all of it off the top of my head, and I'm holding a script.
That was
so
not a
make
lot
sure
to
check
go
out
through.
the update notes. They're live right now. They're going to have everything.
The Thor
we just
change
talked
is
about and
fucking
the
massive.
numbers
That
and
is
all
the biggest
math
change we
talked about that
saw.
We already did, so you don't have to worry about
The
it.
Thoth
And
buff
those are
was
all live
massive,
now,
and the
so get
Devo
into
Glove
that.
buff
Next
is
up,
massive.
We have community news, and there is so many cool things to talk about, starting with something kind of new. So we love Smite Night. Happens on Saturdays. Hop in, earn some free rewards, play a cool game mode. Well, coming near the end of October, so
Not
the
Thoth,
weekend
book a
preceding
Thoth buff.
Halloween,
Get a
we are
slap
going to
hit
be
on it now.
doing a weekend Smite Night. So it's going to go from the usual Saturday start time all the way through the end of Monday. So Monday night you can be playing
Imagine we
Halloween
did
night, you
a
can be playing Smite Night.
weekend
And this one is very special.
Smite
You'll be
Night.
in the Corrupted Arena, which is an arena that we all love, but you're going to be able to use a whole variety of scary skins. We're going to have a wide roster of spooky Halloween
Danger, get
skins
clapped.
available for you to use totally free. Just hop in, and for the Smite Night weekend to celebrate Halloween, use those. But not only that, this is also a collab Smite Night with the metal band Hath. So as you're playing, you will also be able to unlock a Hath music pack.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Yeah, right. Like it fits
Crossover Smite.
Yeah, so it's
What?
super awesome.
Bro,
and this is the first time we've
I
tried
don't
something like this. We're really, really
understand.
excited to work with Half.
I don't
on this.
get it.
It's going to be incredible. So make sure y'all check out.
I don't even care if it's ego or whatever now. How the fuck are you putting shit in the game for these random fucking bands and shit that nobody cares about, nobody's heard of, when you have all these content creators that just want fucking skins in the game?
Next up, I just wanted to call out that right now through Prime Gaming, there's the Monster Cat Cosmetic Bundle available for y'all to claim.
Yeah,
so,
go claim
make sure
your
that you do
Monster
claim that
Cat
before it goes
Cosmetics
away.
Bundle.
You still have a little bit of time
Really
left,
want
but
that with my
obviously these
half
things don't last forever, so make sure you get all the
music
crap
pack.
goodness right up front and claim that as soon as you can. And to follow that up, later on October 24th, so again, still have some time, there's going to be an Avatar The Last Airbender cosmetic bundle coming out. So we're really loving being able to push all these amazing crossovers, and I love all these things. The cosmetics are always on point. So again, October 24th, make sure to look out for that. We're super excited for it. It's going to be really cool.
When are they going to do an Avatar overlay?
Last but not least, if you haven't noticed, Golden Bolts is going on right now.
Oh,
Nominations
yeah, Golden
are
Bolts.
open
Nobody
until
fucking
October
cares.
18th. And make sure to get them in. If there is a community member that you're super proud of, or a content creator, somebody in the Smite community that you love and think deserves recognition, make sure to get those nominations in before October 18th so that they can move on and we can, get them the reward they deserve. There we go. That's what I was trying to work out. So, again, if there's a community member you love, make sure to shout them out and go get those nominations in. We tweeted about it recently, but we will continue to hype
bro,
this
you're
up until it's
fucking with
over,
me
so
with these
keep an eye on our
pictures.
Twitter and make sure you get those nominations in. We're so excited to highlight our community again this year. So that does it for the event part. SPL news is up next, and we just wanted to remind y'all, Phase 3 is in full swing, still going hard.
Bro,
make sure y'all
I don't know
are
how
checking
I
it
can
out
have
on the
like
weekends and getting all that
quadruple the
Smitey goodness
viewership
into
of somebody,
SPL because,
but somehow they
the
can
matches
beat me
are
on
going
votes.
crazy. That's what all this, a lot of this balance really
It doesn't make any
changes up.
sense.
You know, it's crazy when
Golden
a guy
Bolts
gets
are a
5
lie.
more damage and all of a sudden becomes super cool in the SPL. So
Nah,
make
you don't
your
get anything for
predictions on
winning the
what
Golden
these
Bolts.
changes will do to SPL, and then
Little trophy thing I think they send you.
I told you so when it actually happens. Next up, a little bit of merch news. Just want to let you know that SPL jerseys
I'm not very
are
likable,
available now.
yet
So,
I have
pick
more
one up to support
viewership
your
than
favorite
everybody.
team. We're moving towards
It doesn't make any
SWC,
sense.
so
If I'm not
you know,
likable, why
what
the
better
fuck would you
rock
watch?
to SWC than your favorite team's jersey?
You could wear Amatrosity.
Makes no sense.
That's true. You could also do that, but not all of us are that cool, unfortunately.
Everyone has haters
I'm just
watching in this
imagining,
community.
like,
It's how
AJ's
most of the people
suitcase
watch.
Opening up once he gets to Texas.
That's all
and
it is.
Flips over and it's just like 10 Amaterasu hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing else.
We're gonna do like the
Maybe
staff.
I'll wear a jersey just to mix it up. Everyone's gonna be like, who's that guy?
It'll be you're like, oh yeah, I'm wearing a jersey every day. It's just under the hoodie.
Yeah, it sounds
so.
like.
Super cool, and yeah, that covers it for the news, I guess. So again, so many things going on.
SPL
Super cool
jerseys,
October
boys. Don't
Smite
forget
night
to
or
grab your
Halloween Smite
SPL
night,
jerseys.
Monster Cat bundle, Avatar bundle on the way, Golden Bolts.
Fuck you,
just an
Chizza.
incredible amount of things. So make sure y'all are keeping an eye on that and checking the update notes.
I'm
for
likable
more
because I'm not
information on
likable?
anything
That's the
might have
strategy I
flown
went for,
over your head,
honestly.
'cause I was talking really fast. So next, we're moving into quality of life, and this quality of life change roundabout is related to CC and the icons, I guess, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, recently we've recategorized a lot of CC, made roots hard CC, things along those lines, and wanted to increase some clarity on the CC duration bars that you see.
Shmi said finally, did you been waiting for this
black
change?
And white bars and icons.
I can
that
play
will
Smite
apply
again.
Enemy or friendly nameplates, so like
Correct.
above your player character.
Got it.
Yep. So now Roots and Mesmerize will have new icons so that they can be a little bit more clear. And other hard CCs have been adjusted to better reflect the closest other similar CC. There's some more details on the actual notes that, if you're interested, I would encourage you to check out.
Yeah.
And a shout out to Lermy on this one.
Yeah, true. Lermy was the leading force on this one. So again, the refined, more eloquently written version of that is on the update notes. So make sure y'all check it out. You'll be able to see or get a preview of what some of those symbols will look like as well. So always good to check the update notes. Next up, we have a bit of a bug fix here that we're really, really proud of, actually. And AJ, if you want to get into this one.
Yeah, this is one we want to talk about. So we have likely found a bug fix that is causing a majority of the console lobby problems.
Congrats,
so
console gamers! You can play again without getting fucking
getting into the pre-match lobby, usually on ranked, only on consoles, and then they would often just lose responsiveness or become frozen or eventually crash or get kicked and then get deserter, etc. So we do believe we have a large solution. We don't want to call it entirely fixed. As we can see, this has been a really complicated issue. We've been looking into it, been gathering data for months. We have been making progress bit over bit, but this is a big milestone in the progress on it. So don't want to call it completely fixed,
of course,
but this should improve it by a noticeable amount next update. And of course, if you're already one person who's been experiencing this, please continue to let us know
Maui,
if it's better, if it's worse, if it's the same.
Give me my fucking mood back, dude.
Doom, who's been doing tons of work with
patch notes. Give me Maui.
Team to track this down. Oh,
she's
written up so much good.
They're telling you they're trying to fix this. It might be fixed, but they don't know. That's what they're saying.
To figure this out more
maybe you won't get kicked out of your lobbies. Maybe, and it probably will come back later.
Thank you so much for everyone for the feedback you've given us to help us track this down, and hopefully
this patch goes live Tuesday.
And if we see any more issues like this pop up, hopefully we'll be able to address them quickly. Gotten a lot more.
Yeah, it's been a lot of learning, and it's been quite a process. But again, y'all always help.
Video games are a complicated business, you know. I know that you hear that probably sometimes from
Maui.
But it's true.
Yeah, it sounds like a cop out when we're like, guys, video games are hard, but no, they're actually just really hard. Like, that's just no gaff. That's just true.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. And that is kind of the end of that. We're on to a section that I always super love. The section where we get to show you all the cool new skins coming out. So, first off, we're going to talk about the Reaping. The Reaping is coming back to Smite. We're super excited for it. For those of y'all who have experienced the Reaping before, you kind of understand how this event works, but I'm going to run you through it briefly anyway. You earn pumpkins by rolling the chest or buying the skins from the Reaping event, and there are rewards per the amount of pumpkins you get. If you get up to 3 pumpkins, you will have an Aphrodite skin, which we'll be showing you in just a second, obviously. And if you get all the way to 6 pumpkins, you'll get a Scylla skin, which I very purposefully did not put the full name of the Scylla skin in my description here when I practiced this in the mirror, because the skin is so cool that I want you to see it like when we see it here in a minute. So super incredible, but the Reaping is back, and I love the Reaping. And let's just get right into looking at the skins, starting with the first one, which is, I'm flipping over my notes to make sure I do this in the right order. Haha, Dark Magic Aphrodite.
Very excited for this one.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Definitely on theme, very Halloween, very creepy, but
did we just get a good Afro skin not too long ago?
Type of thing for Aphrodite,
So that Afro is
the one witch skin, but
Afro might be one of the worst gods in the game for
type
Conquest.
Of magic, dark magic type of feeling.
For sure.
Very goth fashion.
Yes.
Goth is a good word for that.
And I remember when we first brought up goth Aphrodite, everyone was like, yes, immediately, yes. Like that sounds amazing.
So boxes checked.
Ooh, look at that. Very nice.
I love the energy coming off the staff. Those effects are really awesome.
I'm noticing the material.
This looks like
cloth.
It almost could be
detail, even from a distance.
One of the fucking diamond skins, but not diamonds.
Yeah.
We have
super
much
awesome.
to learn about this
Cool. Let's roll the voice.
And we're back.
Yeah. All right. So
they blacked the screen because their titties just popped out.
And
if
y'all didn't hear the voice line, don't worry, we didn't either. But you'll hear it. It's on. You can hear it in game or on the patch notes. So next up in the Reaping event,
the uncensored version, high-res eyes only.
Yeah, this one was a fun one to play around with a lot. We end up playing with these skins a lot during playtesting as they're starting to come out and make sure everything's good.
I res at it again.
Honey Buddy Bastet was one that many of us were laughing about over and over and over.
What the fuck?
It's just nothing bad here. It's just all good
feat
stuff.
of design and engineering coming together.
Yes.
To turn a cat woman into a bunny woman and her cat pets into jackrabbit style bunny pets, which are really cool. And overall, the skin just looks awesome. I'm really happy with the fashion choices that the artist made in designing her outfit. She looks really good, and as we keep moving through the visuals, skin just looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really looks really good all around. Really fun theme for Bastet. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
In game for this one.
True. We're in a different environment. Still, yeah, absolutely great looking though. I super love it. And like you said, the color scheme is incredible. I love the like pink, blue, or to purple, the hue shifting type stuff. It's just always a pleasure to look at that color scheme, especially in game too.
And throwing a giant bunny at people.
They're spending way too much time on this. This is weird.
Throwing cats was fun for a while, but it's like we've done
generic.
that. Yeah. What's next?
We've been throwing cats for a while.
She's floating. She's not even actually on the ground. It looks like.
I absolutely love the look of it, and
she is. She's floating. Why is there a gap between?
Y'all definitely have to get in
her feet and her shadow.
And check out the jackrabbit for sure, because that's what our artists were telling us about. So let's hear the voice line for this one. Cool, cool,
Smite
cool.
is ready to kick some butt.
Awesome, awesome. Well, again, another super cool skin to look forward to. I super duper love it. And
super
we have more to go.
duper.
So next up in the reaping
Boys
event,
and
we have
girls.
Plague Purger Raw.
If this is another 40-minute
this one
fucking
is,
showing of the skin, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Pack 4, and I really enjoy this.
We're
type
still
of theme,
spinning, bro.
with
Stop.
this like creepy doctor, plague doctor who no one really knows where he came from or what he's up to or what his
This could be a
motivations
cool
are, but
skin. The
everyone
card
just-
art's dope.
No one seems to
Please
get
don't fuck
better
it up.
when he's around. Everyone actually just keeps getting more and more sick. Like it doesn't.
This is
seem
a
to
raw
make any
skin though,
sense.
right? Raw's like
See, look at
45
him.
skins.
You can tell he's studying up. But in general, I thought that this was just the
a cool
weapon
skin.
was such a cool.
It'd be better if we didn't have a ton of them.
design,
This is a good
so
skin.
evocative.
Almost scythe-like, which is very fitting for the reaping.
Very much so. Yeah,
Very
I
much
think
so.
I think the skin turned out really, really, really well.
The bird skull symbolism and visuals is just always super badass. Anytime I see that on a skin, I'm like, yup, I'm into it. Cool to see another dark skin for Ra. We don't see too many of those. He tends to be a good guy most of the time. So this is kind of nice to see a little bit.
Okay, this
It looks
audio is gonna
fantastic.
make me fucking.
I wonder if with all
my
those
ears
crow
off.
skulls, I wonder if he's kind of hanging out with what is it, Crow of Torment Hades, the new T5 skin. I wonder if they're in
yeah.
cahoots.
We're all trying to figure out who the guy who did this to Hades. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's the one who tormented him with crow.
Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, let's hear a voice line.
What is happening? Bro, if anyone throws up on their keyboard, charge high res for a new keyboard.
Stuff.
This spinning is going to be
Another
too
skin coming
much.
To you from the reaping event, we have Cyber Wolf Scotty. So for those Scotty fans out there, we got a cool skin. I mean, the cyber aesthetic is one that I have always really liked in our skins, and Scotty really just fits the theme so well. And that
Now, this
art.
card art is
Yeah.
absolutely sick. Like, extremely dynamic action pose. I love it. And you can see Calder just chilling back there.
And a lot of lightning, which is the
Bro,
coolest
this
thing that he
audio
can do
is
under his
so
skin.
fucked
I
up.
agree.
It does like light.
That's
I
true.
love lightning.
Robo-Dog.
Hold on, this skin is in the game already, right?
Really cool.
I mean, yeah, just incredible.
Is this skin not already in the game on somebody?
It's the cyber theme, the metal plating, all of
On
that.
somebody, not
Super
on- not
happy
on
for it.
Scotty.
I'm excited for this.
Isn't
to
there
come out.
the
I know
same
people think
fucking
it's gonna
Wheelix,
come out
right?
too,
Man,
so.
when you're playtesting these skins, 5 days a week, and you just get to hear how excited Michaela is to play Scotty and all those playtests, and she's a really good Scotty player. That's
no
her
doubt.
main. So
I don't know. I feel like I saw this
that
skin
Robo-Dog has
recently
done
on
some serious
somebody else.
damage to me, and it's not even hit the live servers yet.
So already some pain. All right.
Yep.
Well, voice lines, for those of you who have noticed, are being a little wonky right now. So you'll be able to hear them through the patch notes. So for now, we're gonna move past it. So next up, and this one I am so excited for,
Let's go.
is the Scylla skin, Toonie Terror Scylla. So excited, I
Oh,
almost couldn't say it.
Yes.
More of
That's
this.
incredible.
Now, we've
please.
done a Toon skin before, but
If it
not
were.
quite in
Oh,
this style.
baby,
This
it's
is
finally a
one
god
that
I like to
think
play.
The style was kind of the original motivator to a lot of community and a lot of inspiration internally. Now that we've gotten some practice with it, we were really excited to bring it to life here on Silk Skin, and it
fucking
looks
goodness
so
gracious.
good, and it fits her really well.
Holy fucking
I love how
shit.
menacing she was in the card art. She's like looming over this steamboat like she's gonna destroy it, but
Yeah.
that's Scylla's thing. She's seemingly cute and disarming, but she is a terrifying monster after all.
Yeah.
This skin has a bunch of
It is
extra features,
Cuphead
as well as
vibes.
the final reward in the event.
Yeah. So again, this is the 6 pumpkin reward from the
Show
reaping
me
event,
the
and
abilities.
I mean, and I had to call out the card art real quick. I love that the Toon Baron is standing on the boat she's looming over.
Oh.
So I love when
Yes.
gods are in the same card art. I love it so much. But this is one of those skins that is cool to look at here, but is I think worth going in game for.
Oh,
so let's,
nice.
Let's check it out in game.
Inject this directly into my veins. This is
I
like,
mean,
this is-
100%.
I can't get enough of this like theme for the skins, and as you said, AJ, like Scylla is just like the perfect type of god for it. It just fits her so well.
Okay.
Just like some little
Simple, I
flowers
like it.
moving around in that
Yeah.
crush. Of course, we've got the dogs, which are all sorts of fun little doggos from on this skin.
I can't.
Oh, they're coming out of the little doghouse.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
cool. What a
Cartoon doghouse.
yeah. That's one of those like attention to detail things that like they definitely didn't have to do, and they did, and it's so much better.
I
for
love
it.
those flowers in the flower patch too.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're cartoony yet they're alive.
Those are cool.
Yeah, and
That
The abilities are really
So
basic,
cool.
but they
Yeah,
still have
absolutely incredible. And so many
the
things.
theme.
I mean, I talked to the art
It's a
team
good
about
skin.
this, and they had so many
It
things
is
they were
nowhere
excited
near
about.
as
They have
nutty
a
as the
VXG,
other ones, but
so,
it's
Special emote.
Yeah, well, let's check out that special emote.
It's got the Cthulhu stride.
Got that like 1920s cartoon walk.
It's like,
I'm just gonna stroll into your base and fucking end the
Out of my
game.
way,
Like
I
this.
got places to be.
Yeah, that is the you're
Me
like
on the way to my jungler's back camp.
yeah.
I'll be taking
This,
these.
oh man, this is meme factory. And it has its own signature
That's a good
cartoon
one.
soundtrack that
Oh
plays
my
over it that is
God.
like super fun.
Yeah.
A really well designed music.
People have been raving about it. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's fantastic.
So and
Just
this
imagine stealing the Gold Fury and then
strutting
right
right
over
Just
the
walking
It's so
away, dude.
funny.
time to end the game, I guess.
Yeah.
So I am super excited for this. It also,
That's a good
and, you
walk.
know, shame we can't show it off right now. Y'all just have to see it in game, I guess. But super cool voice pack work as well.
Yep.
So just endless shouts out to this. I love this theme.
definition of
Content you
swag,
say?
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Truly. This is me 10-0 walking back to lane to continue being the winner, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, so definitely we hope y'all love this too because we want to make a skin like this for everybody ever. So super cool, super exciting. And again, that is the reward for the reaping event. So make sure to collect those pumpkins. So man, look at her arms. That is so perfect, like the wiggly arms.
So hard,
Yeah.
is he?
Yeah, the attention to detail. I love our design teams and artists and everybody who puts these skins together. So next up, we're moving to the Reaping event chest. And the one that we're going to show off from that is Bloody Moon Nox. So super excited about that one.
This one got some buzz on Twitter.
Oh
It
yeah,
did.
esports doing a spoiler on us.
We got to
Yeah.
make a little meme about it. We figured, you know, let's give people a little taste of Halloween before Halloween. And glad to know y'all liked it. Here she is in all of her vampire glory.
How could you not?
Who's the cooler goth, Nox or Aphrodite? Nox is like always the goth, so she maybe gets an advantage. But then
Right.
Aphrodite's, that's a big change for her.
True.
But both the outfits look great. Both of the goddesses look amazing. Really on point for the theme. Overall, I think our community's going.
Oh
Yeah, this is
I have
not
no
a
doubt they
skin
will for sure,
I'm gonna see in the
and
game and be
it's
like,
just a super
damn,
good
that's
skin. I'm
sick.
super happy with it. And yeah, again, we love how hype y'all got on Twitter for it. We were glad to see that. Like, that's one of those things where when y'all get excited like that, everybody that worked on this, everybody that's part of the Smite teams always sit back and they're like, oh, they love it. Thank you so much. Like, it's such a good time. So there is another skin that is a part of this chest, I'm fairly certain, but it's for a little later. We're gonna tuck that in the back pocket, and we'll talk about it later.
Sneaky.
Okay.
So,
So sneaky.
moving past that, so the Reaping's going to obviously drop when this update goes live next Tuesday, October 18th. But coming also in that are some more Odyssey skins. You know, the Odyssey Soaring Isles is still going strong, and Blazing Tormentor Sylvanas is one of the skins coming out on October 18th.
Spooky Odyssey skins.
Spooky Odyssey skins, yeah, very thematic. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, I feel like it's been a minute since Sylvanas got, wow, that's horrifying.
My
the
favorite
fuck?
thing is Sylvanas' face mask.
Yes. Yeah.
Just
I love
like
it.
Got the perma
with that
frown.
big frown.
Yeah.
But you know, Sylvanas doesn't have a lot of dark skins either.
No.
Got a crossover, but this is more of something.
This is good card art.
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like in game.
And it's really fun to see.
Yeah,
change
his
of
pull
model
has
like
to be a
this,
chain.
man. Ooh, a lot of cool.
Alright, that's pretty
lot of
cool.
stuff
That's
going
good.
on. I love that little.
There's a
creepy
lot going on,
brown
but it's
face
good.
on
He looks
Sylvanas.
fucking
But then Goliath,
beefy as fuck.
Grover is looking.
He looks
real cool.
beefy.
Yeah, very, very cool. I love how, like, this is the same pose that Sylvanas makes on his base skin, you know, up on top, like, holding on. And it's, like, endearing and cute whenever the old man is doing it. This is horrifying. Like, this
Yeah.
little mask guy just running around all over the place, and now he's, like, leering over you from on top of this
You
Goliath.
gotta
It's spooky.
fucking show the abilities, and
Yeah,
it better
there's
be a
so many
chain
things
pull.
that, I mean, I hadn't even noticed the mask before you pointed
It
that out.
100%
which is not
has
my
an echo,
favorite thing,
probably.
But like the
not
segments
gonna
in
do
the
voice
armor
packs,
are all
though, so we
lit up
won't
by,
hear
like
it.
the fire underneath,
Yeah.
and it's a super amazing skin to look at.
A
so.
gladiator helm reminiscent on the Grover too, which is
Yeah.
cool. It ties it back into Smite, but ever so subtly.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's such a subtle way. So super great. Again, Odyssey Soaring Isles. The next one, same from the Odyssey. Darkest Night, Jablonke.
Oh, that's a good pun right there. I
Yeah.
don't usually
Yep.
like pun names, but that's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of a take on a rogue or assassin feel
Yeah,
for
for sure.
Jablonke. He's got a little bit more.
I think they're trying not to say, like, Assassin's- Dark Assassin's Creed or something like that.
Gear,
Yeah.
with the flail for his bolas.
Yep.
And then I'm always a big fan of the thief mask.
Yeah,
and
he
the
does
hood
have a
look.
mask
That looks
skin
dope
like
on
this,
it.
right?
Super dope.
Call me
Hold
edgy all
on.
you want. It looks dope. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know what to say.
I'll take my lumps.
I love that we've got a couple skins in this type of theme with like Tsukiyomi having that Fiend Hunter type of skin. Athena has a really good one. I really like the skins in this theme, so excited to see Xbalanque kind of being added on to those ranks.
Yeah. And the orange
It doesn't have a
highlight,
hood.
Like the shield right there that it just showed off. Like I love when there's a highlight.
Yeah, he has a
like
face
that.
mask in the other one, so it's not
looking.
as.
I think it looks incredible.
He's very
Dark.
stealthy. In the X-Bal's base anim set is very, like
this is
agile and
the dark
roguish, so
version.
this just plays into it super well. And I know that we can't hear voice packs, so he does have a nice, like, sly British.
These are just so
roguish,
basic to me.
voice
Like
package.
for what high-res can do.
So, super exciting. And oh look, we get a little preview too. That's
nice.
cool. That coloring is so, like, that bright orange is incredible.
Yeah, that fits very, very well.
Light 'em
for
up.
sure.
Light them up. Awesome.
Very
Ben
cool.
Ares is taking the heat. All right, well, super cool.
Yeah, we're seeing
so
Xbalanque's
those, again,
autos, but we're
Odyssey
not seeing
Soaring Isle
Sylvanas
skins,
use his
You can
pull.
look out for these,
And
again,
ult.
October 18th when the update drops,
Heal.
and we're super excited for y'all to get into it. So next up, we have another addition to the Smite skins coming out October 18th, and this one I'm super excited about. We
It's a big
actually
one.
have a crossover skin. We have Cinderfall Morgan Le Fay.
It's a brand new character coming
Yeah.
to the Ruby roster in Smite.
Yeah.
Not a new Ruby, but new to Smite
New
as
to
part of
Smite
the
Ruby
Ruby
characters.
characters.
Yeah,
Okay.
coming to the Ruby chest, to be specific. So,
Okay,
and I mean, that
anime,
card art is
or
incredible.
I guess a lot of people don't consider it anime, but it's anime to me.
Incredibly be. I like the dragon in the background, the fire in the eye, and the foot, and the hand, and the sword. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they buff Morgan Le
just
Fay and then drop this
unbelievable,
skin,
super
dude.
Cool,
Oh
theme for Morgan
shit!
Le Fay to have, and how well it fits with the Ruby stuff is really exciting.
High-res
to
is
see every
funny.
time.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
I like the
what team
Ruby
is able
skins
to
are
do
all
with
pretty
the
good.
effects and all that kind of
So
stuff.
yeah, the abilities are dope on
card
this.
art's looking incredible.
Yeah, and
The weapon
in-game
looks
model,
dope.
too. Like, it's been a while since we've had a Ruby, an addition to the
Sure
Ruby
has.
roster.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
So,
about time.
It is about time, yeah. And
Said Reddit to me before we made this.
So I mean, but
Shit,
it's just
Sean.
incredible to look at. Like look at the sword too. I love how it has kind of like
And
the
you get-
edges
they
where
have to
it's
show the
all
abilities
dark
on
and,
this
like, there's
skin.
darker black.
no
and
way
the
they don't.
fires in the center there.
Very
Like,
cool.
The Ruby art style is just so unique that
It
you can
is.
tell right up front that it's
Yep.
a Ruby character, right? It's got that anime inspiration, but it's a very unique take on it. I love it. And there is one more extremely exciting feature about this skin, right? Right, Dandy?
Yes, there actually is. So again, 1,000 pardons for not being able to see the voice lines. They're being very rude to us.
care about the
But
voice
this
lines. I
skin
want to see the
is voiced
abilities.
by the prolific Jessica Negri. Is that the right word?
Oh,
That means
shit.
Popular and
That's
awesome,
random.
right?
Wait, did
That's
she
what we're
voice
gonna
it in
go
the
with.
fucking
It's a
show?
sushi term.
I got all of my language skills. I
that's
erased them
dope.
all for the math skills we were talking about
Okay,
earlier.
so-
But
I
yes,
can't-
the famous cosplayer and professional
cool.
voice actress for this character in the Ruby series
Oh,
Cool.
is also going to be voicing the skin for her character in Smite.
Yeah, which
Very
is
exciting.
unbelievably incredible. We're super honored to have had, I guess, the honor to reuse that word of working with her for this. It's an incredible voice pack. Make sure that y'all are checking it out, and make sure y'all pick this up in the Ruby chest because again, it's just a super great addition to the roster. And like with everything, I
wanna see the abilities.
into it. So make sure you're checking it out and reveling in how good the voice acting is and how good the work was on the skin itself. So that'll actually do it for the skins that are coming out with the main update. So again, October 18th, next Tuesday, like not even far away at all. Super excited for y'all to be
We
able
don't
to
get to see
in
the
on that.
abilities on
But,
two of the coolest
Of
skins.
course, there are skins that come out with a bonus update. So that'll be November 1st, so we have a little bit of time, and that's a little further away than October 18th. But we have Odyssey Soaring Isle skins, as always. The Odyssey is just always throwing skins at y'all, man. And the first one is Primordial Paragon Guan Yu.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite skin
Really?
lines. that we're-
Nice.
that we're
Hold on.
doing,
Yeah.
is, like,
What the
I don't
fuck?
know exactly what it is, but I love it. Like, I don't need to know where
We
it
are
came
making
from.
up our own new stuff.
That's what
now.
I'm saying.
Just-
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
What
It's very
the
unique, and that's what's
fuck?
really exciting about it. And it looks great. We saw it on Anubis, and now
Yep.
we're going to see it here on
Yep.
Guan Yu.
Yeah.
His horse is looking really cool.
Oh,
We saw this on
incredible.
Anubis?
The face that is like, it looks like a shield with the crystal in the middle of it, and then
What?
the chest. Oh, look at that. Look at
Wait.
the glaive.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
his weapon is just.
It's a completely different color than in the card art.
I've been absolutely loving this skin. I can't wait for it to come out. I think it's gonna be really fun. He's got an
I
extra.
don't like the
sword,
pink
just
all
in
over.
case
The
that
white
massive,
card art
spear
looks
isn't
so
gonna
much
do it
better
for
than
him.
this.
Yeah, you never know.
There on the back, an auxiliary sword, if you will.
Yeah, the card art looked
it's really
way
awesome. I
better
love
than
this
this.
skin.
Yeah, it's an incredible
The
skin.
weapon
like
looks
said,
dope.
The skin line is just totally unique.
I just
one of
do
those
not
where,
like the. It's like someone cranked up the
I like
fucking
looking at the story of the skin and
the
I can't
wrong
read the motive of these
colors
skins, you know? Like,
on your
usually-
monitor.
We'll have to come up with some
and made it
backstory.
pink.
I'm sure the artist.
Or someone washed him with a red
It's just
T-shirt.
usually with bright colors like this, I'm like, all right, good guy. He's like white and purple. Like that seems like good guy colors, but they have such a scary presence. It's like, I don't know.
Well, they are at their core. They are alien conquerors. That's
fair.
I can confirm that much.
Okay, so Conqueror does usually have a negative connotation. So, all right. Either way, super cool. This is the first of 2 skins with Odyssey Soaring Isles coming up.
Oh, it might be the it might be the red lighting around it,
Collie.
making it worse, amplifying it.
Yeah, this one.
I don't know though. We'll see it
again,
once it's in the game.
Whoever was on the mask,
Super White
on
looked
the
good,
art
though.
team for this patch knocked it out of the park. Because
For sure.
The Sylvanas mask really cool, and this little mask like the Plague Doctor Ra. We're just in a mask mood, which is like appropriate. For,
yeah,
for the
it's
Halloween.
October.
This Witch Hunter Gothic universe is a really cool place to explore, and I'm like really excited how unique
This skin in game could be so good if they stick with the card
art.
art.
Mask being white really stands out.
Yeah.
The hat is very new. We haven't quite seen something like that. You can see all different clothing details. It looks like there's some celestial vibes going on in the clothing. Her weapon looks really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it here. Oh yeah, those kind of almost Egyptian-inspired.
Am I trolling, or is the card art god tier on all these skins, and then the fucking skin is just it does not live up to it. Like they're overhyping it. It's an okay skin.
They know things about how the universe works that I just.
I think Kali needs a new skin that's not complete dog shit, so I like it. But I feel like the card art just makes it so much more epic.
Extremely powerful.
It's true.
So. All together, you're gonna want to pick this one up. And
it's a good skin.
This will, I can tell you, help you crush the ranked kings.
Compared to the other Kali skins, this is a good skin.
But I mean, y'all heard it here first. So
it doesn't live up to the card art.
Learning to play Kali will help you.
Yeah, and the skin is just icing on the cake. So
exactly.
The weapons look boring as fuck on this skin, but in the card art, it looked all epic and fucking nuts.
Soaring Isles on the bonus update, so November 1st.
I've got to wait a little. I gotta wait.
You do have to wait a little bit,
but I'm still gonna be excited.
Yeah, anything worth the wait. So.
The thing with Kali is your abilities are so minor, like you have no visuals.
1st,
you have to make everything on the skin look dope.
Part of the Chibi Bonanza chest, Rumbly Chibi Thor.
Chibi Thor.
Chibi Thor.
Thor gets a buff and Chibi Thor drops.
He's so rumbly.
Look at this little guy. Like he's just
high res. Come on.
Anyone can do, except for everything that Maui does.
This skin's gonna be so good, dude.
All the Chibi skins are always like hilarious.
Please be as good as the card art. Please, thank you. It's actually pretty much the same.
Yeah. What a hunk too, with his foot up like on the hammer. Like, what's up?
Oh, look at the hammer.
His hands are so small.
Yeah.
How do they even lift the hammer, man?
They are little dinky hands.
That's incredible.
The size of
why are his hands and feet so teeny?
He's got the power.
He has hooves.
You know, he's worthy, and that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah, incredibly worthy. And
how dare we let the balance team
show the abilities? Please tell me the hammer looks cool when you throw it.
It makes it all.
Got a weekend head though? Yeah, buddy.
Wow. I can talk my head in circles.
I promise you, it was not intended.
Yeah. No. It's one of those, again, the karmic gumbo is what you
said.
It
does look like kind of like a DKO.
That's what me and Agro are.
Right, we always say that.
We say that.
I don't mean to buy in on this.
No, it's fine. You can say it too if you want, but it's important that we say it.
You don't say that.
Roger that. How about we go in game to
You're not part of the Turbo team.
Let's go in game to distract from me saying that.
Oh, it is DKO?
Oh gosh, look at his eyes.
They are piercing. In game, I'll say that.
Is it actually like DKO Thor? It's not just Chibi Thor?
Using Chibi Thor, I was like, my God, he can see right through me.
I like how we really used cuteness as part of the horror themes of this October update.
We really did.
Can be
or is it DKO? But is it this exact same style? Oh my gosh, the hammer, the fucking wall is gigantic compared to him.
Yeah, well, you know, since like Alpha or whenever it was. That was before my time I was playing.
I like the hammer throw.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
A little bit too.
I forgot that even.
Look at how little he looks, dude.
Was that even closed beta, or was that like dev PTS?
I think that was literally
short like crazy.
Thor was not. Okay, Thor released into the beta with that wall damage.
I think so. I don't think it stunned, and I think it did damage.
Okay.
And it got some changes. That's if my memory being told.
I like this. It's a good skin for just being another chibi skin. Most chibi skins, the head is so big you can't see anything else, no matter what. And I feel like I can actually like see the hammer. I can see his little feet. The abilities look good.
Yeah, I love these skins, dude. Like
he's so funny.
He's so funny.
And with Thor getting buffed. Wow. Wait, this skin doesn't drop until the mini patch though, right? The bonus patch. That's fucked.
Doesn't have boots.
Hi-Rez, that's kind of fucked up. Get rid of all the other shit skins in this main patch and give me this skin.
Oh, you know what?
But only if you're in a cinematic.
I'm gonna use that as a segue. That's called a segue in this business.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And that's gonna segue us to the next part of this beautiful adventure, the new god Maui. So how about we check out this
Let's
cinematic before we get into it?
go!
Rated T for teen.
I mean, what can I say? It's Maui. You look proud. You look incredibly proud.
It's so crazy that it's like time, you know?
Yeah.
It's so crazy how long ago, I mean, I started working on Maui. I'm still so ingrained on saying my first god instead of like saying Maui, and so I don't leak anything. So working on Maui in like spring, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, it's so long until he comes out. And it happens a lot faster than
I can appreciate aggro right now, but I need to see this god.
I bet for sure. I mean, I feel proud that I've been able to sit here through two people's first gods, you know, and here we are for yours. I mean, this is your spotlight. This is Maui. So kind of give us the rundown. What inspired Maui?
Yeah, I mean, he's just such a huge part of so many different mythos. You know, all those Pacific Islands have different stories about Maui. They have similar stories about Maui. You know, we ended up really focusing in on the Hawaiian interpretation of a lot of these lore, but you know, the Maori people have a lot of stories about Maui and all that kind of stuff. And the feats that Maui did, we know Prometheus's name because Greek mythology is very popular.
Of course.
And all he did, was discover fire for humans.
Yeah.
Maui did that, plus pulled up the land they lived on, plus made room for the plants to grow, plus introduced people to being able to see beautiful birds they couldn't see before. Like, all these things that Maui did would have earned him a spot on the roster if he had only done one of them. And he did like 6 things that were that level of importance to the people. So he's just such a popular folk hero because he does these incredible feats, but he's also like not a holier than thou, like whatever. He's in his downtime, he gets yelled at by his brothers for being lazy, and I'm sure no one has any type of relation with that.
Never.
It's just how it goes. I just think that I feel very fortunate that I got a god in Maui that is so, his personality is so in the forefront. It's so big. It's so fun. And I'm unbelievably happy with how he turned out. I think that the team did a great job at showcasing those in his animation and in his voice and in his effects and all that.
I want to see the god.
That is incredible to hear about. I mean, let's check out the card art while we're here.
I'm probably told not to say that, Rizzy.
Look at that.
He's cheesing, you know? He wants you to know that he's like, yeah, I'm sick. Like, you see that cool thing I just did? Like,
charisma,
it was
I
nice.
believe is the word I ended up using in the blog post. I had to restrain myself from using it multiple times, but he's a cultural icon. He's down to earth, though.
Yep.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
even when he's working.
Yeah, because from what I know about him is he's kind of like, I feel like trickster is the wrong word. That's Loki's thing, and Loki is not as nice. Like Maui is like, he's playful, you know, like he does all these
chaotic
things.
good.
Yeah, in such a playful manner. Because like, I mean, as you said, so much of what he's done was to help the people, was for the people. So like, but he still has that playful attitude, that kind of like, I can't think of any other thing to say. It's charismatic and fun.
Yeah, the trickster is a really like archetype across all different types of mythology, which is really cool to see now. Another one that's got a unique twist. I think he's even more good than the usual trickster. He's just a little mischievous, and that's mostly when you think about it from the perspective of the gods.
Yeah, really.
He's the one. Like they're like, oh, I got to deal with this Maui guy again. It's like he's the one they're messing with. But humanity, he's always looking out for.
Oh yeah. So that's super incredible. Let's see the turnaround too. Please. Like, I mean, you can't not.
Yeah, I mean,
here we go.
Just so cool.
You know,
he does all these incredible feats of strength, and we wanted to make sure that he
Where'd he go?
Strong, that he felt like he was the the guy to do, pull up islands out of
Where
the
the fuck did he go?
lift the sky a little bit higher, lasso the sun, all that kind of stuff.
What?
And I think that his model came out feeling so good. He's a big dude, he's strong, and but he's very agile and able to get around and do his thing really, really effectively. And I think
it's not just his face. He's shorter and thicker, but not like in a good way, in my opinion. I think his face adds on to it, but he does not look like
maybe a little more
the card art.
But from all of our research,
he looks like the fucking
so
Wish version, Walmart version.
His confidence would be contagious on the battleground, and that's what we wanted to represent all the way through the gameplay.
Bro, there's no world where you say he looks fine compared to the card art. You're just lying to yourself because you want to be happy about Maui. That looks not good compared to the card art. His eyes are green right now.
He's a big guy. This is not a small guy.
Why aren't they blue like in the card art? Like that's a small thing.
He doesn't
what the
seem
fuck?
heavy. Atlas seems every step he takes seems like it weighs,
well, he holds up the entire cosmos.
Yeah, exactly.
His kit better be so fucking cool.
Our design team is Maui's a big guy, but he's always moving and shaking. He's not lumbering around or anything. So the fact that he looks light on his feet, even just with this animation,
he doesn't look light on his feet. He looks heavy as fuck.
It would be a shame not to go in game and actually see Maui. So let's go ahead and hop in game and check this out.
How to see all the abilities.
Gotta
got
do
it.
man.
You know what? Yeah, show us the abilities. Run us through them.
Yeah, just go a little wild.
Okay, that's a fucking sick lead, bro. What? Oh, that's sick. That is a sick fucking leave. It is. You can have a Spider-Man skin.
That's a lot of
There they go. Oh, that's incredible.
They weren't where they were a second ago.
They are not. All right, so we just saw a whole lot of things there.
Wait, his passive charges?
Really get into it and start talking about it. So we gotta start.
Went out of combat, I'm guessing, or went not autoing?
Yep.
How about the basic attack?
Yeah, so you might notice that Maui has a little targeter with him all the time. That's because he has a new
That is
range and
a long-range auto. Holy fuck.
Cleave,
That's sick.
but not ones who cleave more vertically, so to speak. So his basic attack range is 25. For context, normal melee basic attacks go about 12. Spear users like Achilles go about 16. Maui is
He's a hybrid ranged auto.
Medium short range is what I've been kind of describing it as. It does hit everything in the area. He's a guardian, so his basic attack damage is very low. It's very much like Sylvanas or something like that.
It has some kind of CC in it, right? So what is it?
He's got this big hook. We wanted him to use it more like a fishing hook than a club. And so if you've got a big hook on a lot of rope, you're not going to be just using it right in front of you, right? You gotta use that range advantage a little bit, and it has been, it's a little thing like that to just extend the basic attack range, but it feels very unique and very fun when you get a chance to really get in there and hit people from. Yeah,
look at his icon in game.
Of other melee characters.
That is not what he looks like.
Full basic attack power build.
So anyone who said his face was fine, he looks fine, you're lying. His kit looks dope.
Go ahead.
He looks
when
bad.
you have Hastened Ring, it feels really good. In the 30 seconds after Hastened Ring is down, you won't be doing a whole lot for the vast majority of the time. For that little amount of time, you're going to be like, wow, this is crazy.
We would not recommend it, but we know they're going to try anyway, so we got to call it out. It is a lot of fun, and it is really unique for the character. And while we're talking about this, might as well just get it right out in the front. The hook and the rope.
Yes.
There's a lot of back end work that went into that. We gotta call out some gratitude to our rigging, animation, tech art teams. Rope physics are no joke in video games, in any game. I remember like an E3 trailer, I think it was for Last of Us or something like that, that just showed like 30 seconds of something of them just messing with the rope just to show how much rope they had. Rope physics are tough. We had a lot of stuff going on to make these visuals look really good. It took a lot of effort, a lot of testing, a lot of iteration, but it looks great.
It's a good point. I should issue a formal
animation for autos is very clean,
during
bro.
our brainstorm said,
it's like really an ability every time.
Too much rope. And then I turned around and was like, okay, so here's the kit, and it uses a ton of rope. So
we really just leaned into that as the hook for the kit.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
We wanted to use it. It's a very unique weapon, and that's what's going to play up his uniqueness of his whole kit, really.
Yep.
Yeah, and all right, so, let's keep moving. Next up, we have the passive, and I'm going to pass this to you to pronounce.
Oh, you're so scared,
His keybinds are left shift QE in space. What the fuck?
It translates to "made fast to the heavens," which was very wordy as well. So we decided to go with the more traditional word for it.
Yeah.
And this one's really cool. So anytime an enemy god near Maui is hard crowd controlled, whether it be by him or by one of his allies, they will gain a mark. So for Billy, I don't know how we're going to jump around. Actually, if you do / pawn dev test space the number 1, it'll turn it on for you. Nope, don't type /. That's not how it works. Okay, man. Yeah,
Touche, touche.
pawn dev test, PAWN. Nope, not like pon. PAWN.
I was seeing a lot of back end.
DEV.
Bro, what is happening?
TEST space the number 1. Bang. Okay, you enhance your basic, and you'll see more about how to do this later on in the kit. We're just trying not to spoil it. When your basic attack is enhanced, your next basic will pull enemy gods hit to you. So that's why these
What?
semi-range.
How do you charge this? Because if it's easy to charge, that is going to be annoying as fuck.
You can get a pull. I mean, everyone knows it's a hook. It's a god.
Why does he have Sylvanas
You've got to pull
3 on his fucking auto attacks?
on that. I can safely say you're gonna be pulling.
But better. Mulan fucking shit on his auto attack, but better.
You know, using the cheat code that won't work in your games, don't try it. Of the passive meter filling up. That can only happen once every 10 seconds. And again, when someone gets hard crowd controlled, a mark will appear above their head. You must basic attack them in order to charge your next basic, and then it will pull.
So if they're hard CC'd and you auto them, you get a pull.
Passive charged off someone.
And it's on a 10-second cooldown.
Hold it.
Amount of time,
Yep.
right?
Walk
Okay, it
towards
doesn't
mid.
expire. That's awesome.
And then come in here and pull this guy who happens to be a little bit out of position. And that will pull any gods in that area that are enemies.
This is especially cool when you get to trigger it off like your hunter, you know?
Yep.
If you have a hunter like, say, Neath Root, which
Yep.
roots are now hard CC now, she can root your opponent. You can walk up, basic attack them.
It's a
trigger your hook,
fucking
and then pull
AoE
them
pull.
after the root is
What
done.
the
Really
fuck?
gives them a lot of synergy with Scots.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Really fun creating comps that
Oh
Maui works really well
my
with, giving him
gosh.
some
That
natural
is
strength
fucking
and some
nuts.
natural weaknesses where he won't be quite as good if your team doesn't have a lot of hard crowd control. And so bringing some of that decision making into where's a good Maui game is something that I find very fun.
Awesome. Well, that's super cool, and I love the fact you can pull multiple people because the potential for that in a team fight, where whether you're using it to help get somebody off your damage, or whether you're positioning their damage to get dunked, I think it's super.
Yes,
incredible.
the peel potential is a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep, absolutely. Now it does respect CC immunity and knockback immunity because that's technically what it is. So
Yeah.
you have options being hit or not hit by it as the enemy, but it definitely feels very, very good to keep people in
That's
your
good.
team's range.
That at least there's ways to
Awesome.
not be hit by
Well,
it.
cool. Let's move on to something I can pronounce. Ability 1, Master Fisherman.
Yeah, Master Fisherman. So this one, I mean, it just felt very natural.
It's a charged
He
up
starts to
ability,
spin his
and
hook,
it's a fucking
and it
pull.
begins to grow in distance, very similar to something like Olarun 1,
Yeah.
that it will grow as you continue to charge. But then you can hold it and walk around spinning the hook and kind of keeping your threat nice and high. And then when you throw it, it will go out and attach to the first enemy god hit, and Maui will begin to reel them in. They are crippled and vortex.
Wait, does it
So
break?
Either one is a hard CC.
Technically a soft season.
Technically soft CCs. Think of Vortex as Baron Samdi's
I was about
Vault.
to say, okay.
Yep, that's the easiest one, or Hades Ult. Or
Oh, so you can jump out of
You've
it.
got a good amount of Vortexes out there. But you can fight against it. You're not going to necessarily be pulled quite this far because you're going to be trying
Oh, it's literally like
These Odin
fishing. That's
cannot-
sick.
No, they can.
That's really
So
cool
it
they
won't
did
pull you
that.
quite this far, but it is your primary safe setup.
Oh, it is a cripple?
In the kick. It does go through minions.
So then it isn't exactly like Baron's
help
fucking
you
pull.
clear the wave as well, but it's body blockable, so solo lane or something like that, people can simply stand in front.
It's still pretty much his primary wave clear.
Yes, correct. It is basically his only wave clear.
Got it.
Yeah, that's fucking
unless you
sick.
wanna be
Sorry,
risky.
solo laners.
I think they'll find a way around it if
they'll
I had to
figure it
guess.
Yeah,
But
that auto attack, man.
this ability took a lot of tuning and trying to make it feel good and fun on
This
both
is such
ends.
a
Maui does also
fucking.
get some
They actually went into
during the
detail with
wheeling,
this.
so it feels
I
like
did a good job.
that cool tug of war, but this
That's
man's
dope.
strong enough to pull up islands.
It's a
Of course,
cripple and a
yeah,
vortex, but you fight against it by walking the other way, and you won't get pulled the entire way in
pretty narrow.
if it's on max range.
Yeah.
It's
That's still
missable.
sick, dude. That's gonna be a really cool
Which is
setup.
good.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
for
agree.
sure.
But I'm really happy with how this turned out.
Why the fuck would you play Sobek when you play this?
Potent peel tool that you can keep a warrior off of your ADC with very easily, but not always, you know, it's no Athena taunt for setting up multiple members of the enemy team.
Got it.
And it just feels so Maui.
It does.
It does. Hey, I have to respect the attention to the fishing mini game because it's not a good catch if you're, you know, if you just pull them right in. In fact, they can fight back. I mean, it's not he didn't.
It's a big one.
Yeah. Yep. So super cool, super exciting. Next up, another ability, Mystical Ulua. I was brave. I tried that one.
And you got it right.
Nice.
Yeah, Mystical Ulua. So Ulua fish are very a big part of Hawaiian culture. So we were really excited to be able to incorporate that into the kit. This ability does absolutely 0 damage.
Got it.
0 to enemies. You can toss it, won't do anything. Gods, minions, doesn't matter. This is a pure support ability. So when you hover it, you can see a bigger area. Anyone in that area, when the fish lands, will gain protections and movement speed for a short amount of time, 5 seconds. So the idea is it's supposed to feel like throwing a mini relic into the middle of your team fight. And good relic usage, as all good supports know, is a huge part of what you're supposed to be doing.
It's a way better Ares too.
This has felt very fun to use in that manner. But you might notice that it leaves behind a little special something, a nice little pillar of water. Big shout out to Shane for these awesome effects. That is the timer of how long that water will last, is the big pillar.
That's dope.
And if an ally god stands on that water for 1 second, a bubble will form around them, and they will be transported to Maui. It is basically like putting down a Heimdall crystal.
What?
It's a little untargetable trip.
What the fuck? This is Ares 2 on crack.
Poorly positioned backliner.
Oh my fucking goodness.
And get your jungler into an aggressive position with you, or your warrior, or any of those people. It's a pretty big range when you toss it and no one is taking it.
Yeah, they gave Ares, but Ares 2 and Heim 3, like Razy said, on an ability.
Will instantly break unless someone is attempting to channel on it. We don't want those bad feelings of I was almost safe and then my Maui took 1 too many steps. And all of a sudden I'm up the creek with no paddle. That way we at least let you try and finish the channel. But it has felt really fun to use. It does get people on the wall. This is the ability that's going to really cause a lot of awesome creativity. I can't wait to see it.
That's fucking sick.
Even without using the hook.
Wait, it's 1 second, right? You have to stand in there? You're gonna be able to pull people out of CC. This is like push book, like what I've been asking for, but on an ability.
As Agro mentioned, there's a lot of
shit.
edge cases that the design team has already
counted for.
Shit. Possible. If Maui gets outside the area while someone
you're also gonna get fucking trolled by your teammate, by your Maui teammates.
Infinite Maui distance shenanigans. So you'll stop at the edge of the circle.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking bring people into the tower as much as possible with this shit. You're gonna think you're safe,
you also get the buff,
backing, and I'm gonna teleport you into my fucking tower, into the enemy tower or some shit.
From being in the area, if you walk up to the water pillar afterwards, you'll gain the protections and movement speed for going through the bubble.
If you're backing, it should not be able to pull you.
Anything like that.
I don't know if they thought about that.
One per deploy.
Yep, per deploy. Can't have, if you have one out with enough cooldown reduction, then you toss another one. It'll break the first one. Only
max one.
Yep, max 1.
It's max 1.
But yeah, the playmaking potential with this ability has been unreal. And you might notice as well that on the passive meter, when someone is standing on your water and starting to channel the bubble, you look in the center of the hook, there's a little gem of water.
Oh, that's so
It's
cool.
a bubble.
It's a little bubble, yeah, exactly. It makes a big difference for if you know if I can I take a step out of the area? Are they going to come with me, or you know, do I need to wait until they're on it?
Comes out on Tuesday.
That's a really nice little quality of life thing that we were able to get in that I'm really happy with.
I was about to say,
this is
my
really
three big
fucking
things right there.
cool.
One innovative way to make sure that you're not having.
How
to
much
look
movement
back
speed does it give your teammates in
ruins
the in like the
really
big circle or the
effectively.
whatever
So you see the
mid-sized
bubble,
circle?
you're like, I can keep going, we're good. The second thing, you're totally using the hook for this. I love how the animation has him flicking
Tell me this, I might
out of the water with a hook.
I'll be trolling people all day with this shit.
You tried this on Corrupted Arena? If you could pull
No, only it said it only pulls one person.
That's up for our players to figure out.
I think that's what it said.
We'll see. Who knows?
And then my other favorite thing is I am so ready to initiate incredible ganks with this, where you throw this over the wall, like hook somebody, and then your jungler.
You can't pull them outside that green circle, so leaping and blinking and shit doesn't matter.
I'll be okay. And then an assassin comes through.
Max in that green circle. Won't go any farther.
It is fun.
Saving allies is so fun. It does. I know a lot of people are probably wondering. Have all the same interrupt rules as Heimdall Crystal. So if the target is stunned, rooted, crippled, they are no longer able to. Channeling, and they have to start from the very beginning. So all
okay.
the rules still apply. But also, just like Heimdall, you can.
Not as good as I was thinking.
In order to make sure that you're CC immune. And
If you get CC'd in it, you don't teleport till your CC's over for a full second. It's Heimdall teleport. It's the exact same as Heimdall shit.
Wild things with this because being CC immune doesn't prevent you from being teleported, which is intended. So you could be in Scylla ult and decide to move and come out like that. You could be
still really cool
channeling his ultimate, and then all of a sudden.
I was thinking, like, imagine you got Athena taunted and they threw this on you.
That's huge.
So very porous alt style wackiness that I am very excited to see all the clips of.
You could beads and stand in it.
Yeah. Really awesome.
It's still really good, but I was imagining you could use this while they were on a CC target and save them. That'd be fucking nuts.
Team, I just can't, and really the whole team, because this took so much work on the programming end as well.
That's an actual unique fucking ability. They've done a good job with these first two abilities.
And lassos his hook around a piece of the sun.
And this looks sick.
He can stay up there for a swing forward, back, and forward. And it isn't a predetermined landing zone. He can jump off at any point during this.
That is fucking dope.
That trickster.
That is so weird, but this is insanely unique, bro.
You're a little hard to predict in where you're gonna land.
It stunned him?
It feels so fun to use.
Ooh, okay. It was hard as fuck to see. That's
Indiana Jones, like rope swing type of ability. That type of moment in an adventure game.
It is. It's a hard CC.
Is always so iconic, and it just felt so appropriate for Maui to be the one to be on that type of adventure. He's just out there.
A lot of back end work went into making this feel smooth.
I mean, it did some kind of hard CC because it triggered the passive on him.
It's hard.
Watch.
It was a lot.
As you've probably been.
They slept? What is that?
A hard CC and a
it stuns all
on the crash landing.
That's right.
That is what's triggering those marks, which allows Maui to passive.
That's right. So
holy fucking CC, dude.
Odin bots, so apologize.
That won't happen to you.
Exactly.
What are the numbers of this?
Exactly. This is his initiation tool. It is a jump, so you are just like something like Bacchus, who has a really big knockup and then a bunch of protections from his kit afterwards. It needs to have that big splashy entrance in order to justify using.
Bro, they said low damage.
It really does that very
They
well.
lie.
It's really rewarding. It's a big landing area.
That stun is 335 base damage with 60% scaling on a 16-second cooldown.
I really appreciate. It is just maybe you could say
at max rank
at its simplest.
Bro, his ultimate
not how it feels,
does 675 base damage with 80% scaling.
And you had to plan the distance and the timing to land and hit the stun, and it felt so good.
And his one does 360 base damage with 50% scaling. So he's gonna do damage if he's hitting his shit.
Your 2 down and then jump over a wall.
His cooldowns are kind of long though. His cooldowns are really, really long. You're gonna have to build CDR.
Based on when they get there, of course.
But you also have a cleave auto. So like,
hold them in the air.
That would make up for your clear potentially.
When the channel's done, it'll put them where you are, which is really fun. So just overall feeling really good about this, how this came out, and it feels really fun.
I should be able to jungle him. I think he's gonna be an insane support and a really fucking good solo.
And swinging, and then she jumped over, expecting me to land, and I just swung back, landed back where I took off from, and turned around and ran away. Was one of the hardest times I've laughed in a playtest in a long time. It has that tricky aspect to it.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I mean, we can see here, you got to be able to land, like get that circle out, but it looks cool too, because I mean, as was kind of just demonstrated, if you can do it just right and time it, you could throw it at your ally, swing over the wall, let them get over the wall, and then go back. So like, you don't leave the fight, you just drop somebody off, come on back, and you do your thing. So
tricky play to pull off.
That's high level. Yeah.
Congrats, Knight. Shit,
cool.
I'm hitting you up when I need you to sue somebody, all
One
right?
more ability, which I'm super excited for because it is visually stunning. Let's look at landfall.
This is a lot of CC.
Just pick a target out in the distance, and Maui makes mountains happen.
Okay,
just
wait,
like
what?
that.
Oh, and that's that blocks.
Grabs the island and pulls it up. This is, I'd say, the iconic lore story for Maui is raising up the islands of Hawaii and New Zealand and all of a bunch of Pacific islands. And we knew that it had to be a big part of the kit. Herc 2 is one of my favorite abilities in the whole game. It feels so fun to use. It's
That
really
can block a whole
splashy
path,
and
by the way.
in your face and in a really
Like
good
he could
way.
drop that right in front of him and block that whole path.
What just ranged Herc 2 was like my
4
first
seconds,
thing
that
I
that stays
found
on the ground.
potential ultimate ideas, and I didn't even think that
So
it
he's
would
CC immune in the air.
The animation team and
He throws his hook, targeted area, pulls up an island, knocking all enemies in the area up in the air and pulls them in front of him.
Stay behind
Oh, that's it. There's no like stun or anything, I guess.
player wall.
It's just the knockup.
Will block people from
Allies
moving
and
through.
enemies.
Yep.
And self.
That's on a
And
90-second
so, You
cooldown.
can press 4 again to drop it immediately. You don't have to wait that whole time. So if you have a little oopsie, then you can just put it down and not worry about it too much.
That too he has gives 20% movement speed at max rank and 25 protection.
Especially in jungle, where you can use it to
On a
pull
really
someone
short
back
cooldown,
and
10-second
drop
cooldown with no
rounds.
CDR.
Clumsy.
So a
one-time
6-second
vintage
cooldown on that
for winning
too
the game, all
with
game,
full CDR.
absolutely crushing them. Clumsy was playing Maui. We phantomed out of an Odin cage, and then the phantom wore off, and Clumsy Maui ulted our whole team back inside the Odin cage. And they wiped us and killed us in that fight. And I was like, wow, my own ultimate just annihilated. It is a CC that I think takes a little bit of time to get used to.
He has a lot of CC,
but
bro.
Once you see it coming, I think that and once you play against it a little bit, it becomes significant.
He has so much CC, and those numbers are way higher than I thought they were gonna be. Because they said low damage.
Little warning effects. Knock-up immunity works great.
I'm pretty sure the quote they used was, "You'll force him in the solo lane, like he won't be good at
The
all."
whole area does the same damage, the same knock-up, everything like that.
Okay.
It's just so you can place your wall very effectively and make sure that you're cutting off those choke points as you please.
Awesome.
Wait.
Well, I mean, that's visually and gameplay-wise, that's super incredible. I think the ability, like you said, has a lot of potential for combinations, for all kinds of play. I'm again over the moon to see this in game and see how it interacts. I'm definitely a Guardian main myself, so best believe I'll be getting in there and testing out Maui basically every chance I get.
I mean,
He's a god. That
I don't know how you get away from this fucking god.
You know,
When if you're like once you have him down
ways to use your jump and your
as a mage or a hunter, I don't know how the fuck you get away from this.
but I think that I'm just very happy with how he turned out. I hope everyone likes him.
He has
He's not
long ass
great-
cooldowns,
if you're trying to
so that's the
solo
one thing
queue,
early game.
Hard carry your ranked games. He's not as good at that as you would expect, I think, because his damage, you know, his 2 does 0 damage, his 1 is single target, his 3 is a jump, you can't use that all the time, and the ultimate is pretty good damage, but a lot of Guardian ultimates.
I like how he just
His damage output
like
is very low.
one is single target. It's 360 base damage
but he's got
with
the CC to make up
scaling.
for it. He's a,
It's not
I think
single,
that
just it's not just single
my
target. It's a
headline for
fucking
him has
360
been
damage.
Playmakers support. You know, he's setting up your team to do the work for you, but he's going to make it a lot easier for them to stay alive, to put people in position to hurt them.
I think this guy is gonna be fun to play in a lot of roles and be a really, really
Before I
fucking good
forget, I gotta
support
give a
and a
shout out to
really, really
Brian,
good solo laner.
programmer who headed up Maui with me. It was
No,
also
the one
his
is
first
single
job.
target.
I
It just
know
hits
I
the
made his
first
life a
fucking
lot
thing it
harder
hits,
than it
and it
needed
does
to be at
360
times,
base and I think
really
like 50%
appreciate
scaling.
How much incredible work he put into it, but as well as
Yeah, don't worry,
Kayla,
it's single
Katie,
target.
as I call her. This was her first god.
Yeah, the one- so the one-
Verify, and she
If you're
got a
going like a
lot of
mage build
that made Maui feel a lot better.
on Maui,
Instrumental in his testing. So
you're
three of us, it was kind
talking,
of like,
you're
our
talking,
first gods all together, and
you're
I really,
talking 800 damage on the
happy with
one,
how he turned out, but of course it isn't just us,
like
it's a full
800
team.
damage on the
Animators,
3,
tech art,
and
concept,
like
all that kind of stuff, and
Months of work from many people all come together to make these gods.
and like fucking 1300 damage on the fucking ult.
And the fact that y'all are still iterating and creating new
That's
mechanical
with scaling.
devices,
I'm saying with scaling, if you're going full
gameplay
power,
feelings after as many
you're
gods
definitely
as we have.
one-shotting somebody with your kit.
I'll say this every update show. Shout out to all of them.
And Polly, yeah, Polly's gonna fucking slaughter. I'm definitely playing this in the jungle on Friday.
Now, so now you'll have to wait for PTS and
Full
then when it comes
power
out
with
next week,
Polly,
but we got a few
you're
more things to show
fucked,
off. The
boy.
usual kit that comes with a new god. So first up we have the alternate colorings, alternate colored skin, Sun Tamer
Oh,
Maui.
real quick, I'm sorry, before we get away, it's too late, but
Too
maybe
late.
we can get back in there. But he does have a lot of really cool little nods to Hawaiian culture. I also want to
Okay.
give a shout out to Molly and Cliff, or Davion, two people who...
Olympian Davion.
Yeah, Olympian Davion.
You know him, you love him.
You know, Molly is on our marketing team at
Remember what
Pirate
using
Studios.
hog.
These two were instrumental for us. I mean, they are two people who are native Hawaiians, and I bugged them with a million questions.
They
a
should
million
fix his
times,
face.
and they were so patient with me and gave us so much
54
great
months,
reference
54
to
pieces of
build
chicken
off
for
of and
my
make sure that Maui
scrotum. I
felt
slide sandpaper on my ankles so I
and
can
really
hit a
there.
baseball
And
30 cm
also
and
to
drink
Brent
water
Mukai,
through my nose
the
ISTG.
voice actor who is also a native Hawaiian. It was really important to us that we make sure that Maui feels like a guy that you could just run into on the island who's also like a god.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of,
His
you know, his taunt. His
smile
plot, a
looks
lot
like
of,
his teeth are all
references
rotten.
To all of those different little pieces of Hawaiian culture.
Oh, this is one of the coolest kits Hi-Rez has ever put in the game.
Really, really.
Don't get me wrong. The only thing that's wrong with this entire kit is the
He
face.
feels like
That
a
taunt is
full
amazing.
It's not even wrong. It just doesn't look like the card art at all.
Everything that could be.
This is a fucking awesome, awesome,
I have to agree
awesome
with you.
kit.
I spoke with so many people in the company as well to make sure that the teasers that we sent out and all that stuff were as true to the lore and the theme as they could possibly be. So, a great shout out. Thank you for doing that. Sorry for pulling us away at the end. But
No,
y'all
by all
got a
means.
teaser of the skit. Let's go back to the card art. Y'all got to see a little bit of it. Let's get back and talk about it. So this is Sun Tamer Maui. This will be one of the alternate skins that releases along with the god.
So because he has so many great feats of these feats that he did and what he did for humanity, we couldn't incorporate all of them into the kit. You know, we talked about some fire stuff, but ultimately went a different direction. But card art is a great place for us to put these little nods to myths and mythos of these characters. So here Maui is showing the Hawaiian people how to create fire.
If they can get Maui as
As you can imagine,
Spider-Man, it's
it's
gonna be
pretty big
sick.
for them.
Yeah, kind of a big deal. And going back to what you said about Maui being, I mean, a god, yeah, but also just one of the people, somebody you can approach. I think this card art tells that story well because he's not hovering above them and casting fire down upon them. He's sitting there like, check this out, guys. Like, he's sitting the same way that
Oh yeah, or Tarzan, that'd be dope. I can see them doing Tarzan.
Yep.
So it just, again, I love when card arts tell a story, and this one tells the story of a dude who's teaching somebody a new skill on their level right next to them. So super duper cool. This is, again, one of the skins that's going to come out alongside Maui, as well as the Ascended Maui skin. So Maui gets an Ascended skin as well.
Dude, this color palette in-game goes unbelievably hard.
It goes incredibly
just
hard.
Unreal. So cool. Feels so like I just love the color palette that we went with this. And again, birds being a part of his lore.
I know all
wanted to
about that
incorporate
color
A
palette.
little bit into this card art.
Just look at the movement. You can
Yep.
feel it.
Yeah. Like
It's
that.
going fast.
Absolutely.
Why does his face keep
So,
changing?
and again, this is the Ascended skin, so you'll get this if you have the 2022 Season Pass, which gives you this type of skin for every one of the gods that comes out in 2022. So definitely worth picking up as the year is almost over. So we're yeah, man, that just hurt my chest to say. 2022 is coming to a close sooner than you'd think. So you know, grab that before it's gone for sure. And this is a bit of a switch up from things we usually do. It's not very often that a god gets more than these two skins on release, and the Masteries, which we'll get into here in a second. But I figured we'd break the line real quick and show off Detoxify Maui. Maui's getting a skin on release.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, this card art is so awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if the art team and everyone who plans these things knows that green is my favorite color, and they gave me a green Maui skin right off the rip. But if that was intentional, I do appreciate
Please,
it.
this could be really good in game.
Yeah,
This
it
could
really
be
exciting to see
really
this
good in
game
game.
really early, and one that feels really cool. We kind of have these.
It is like the
couple skins
Umoja one,
along the
yeah.
lines of
Like,
the, you know,
almost
toxic
the,
Umoja
not
and
the
all that kind
exact
of
same,
stuff.
but almost
A
the
little bit of a
exact
different twist for Maui. He's more of a.
same. More armored up.
He's sick
the
of seeing
hero
all
of
this.
that
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's a purifier.
Exactly. He's purifying the ocean and pulling out all this toxic waste.
Ooh, and it's clean,
Yeah, the effects are absolutely
just
awesome.
like the environment.
Yep. No doubt about it. This skin turned out really, really cool.
I think the weapon looks dope, but the
Yes, this
shoulders
should
and
be in the
face and
recon
helmet
chest, if
look
I'm correct.
bad.
So it's definitely on the patch notes.
I
If
do
I'm
not
wrong,
like
you can make
this.
fun of me on Twitter if you'd like, but yeah. So this is part of that event as well. But yeah, the rare on release.
Bro, they should drop a skin where they put a bag over his fucking
I
head.
already love the whole toxic theme, and to take that and kind of
They could have done like a Halloween theme. That could have been his fucking costume.
The dude who's cleaning up the waters, purifying the land. Like, what a cool aesthetic. So.
Yeah, very cool. I would definitely recommend not being caught polluting around Detoxify Maui.
Yeah.
Thank God his kid is nuts, because I am not a fan of the way he looks in game compared to his art.
Too. That hook is just incredible to look at. So, I mean, yeah, we're kind of coming on the end here. A few things I do want to call out about Maui too that I meant to say earlier. So with
Fish
this
guy
car,
from The
our
Boys,
beautiful
yeah.
audio team got stereo sound working. It was a huge task to implement that, but Ishtar was able to benefit from it as kind of the first god, and Maui has that as well. So Maui should not only look clean, but sound clean too.
Yeah.
So, which is super, super awesome. And I mean, yeah, that's just a big shout out to our sound team for being able to continue to incorporate these new pieces of technology that we're adding in
Absolutely.
as the game moves forward.
Big shout out to Chad and Kellen from the audio team, specifically Chad, who dealt with my like incessant little tiny messages to like totally redo like all these things that didn't. I'm sure he was very much able to take all of my psychosis and crazy suggestions and make it actually good, and that was really awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just super excited. You know, it's going to be such a big deal when this comes out. And again, next Tuesday. Like, I know we've been doing this for a while now.
Still exciting.
Still
Very
exciting.
exciting.
Launch day
Every
is
single
right
time.
around the corner.
Yep.
So for all of the info that we just went over, make sure you'll check out the patch notes, because it was a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot of things, but it's all laid out.
That's
in the
the end
patch
of the
notes for
notes.
y'all. All the skins and all the balance and